Peace and respect, everybody. Welcome to the party. Let's get a link in there for you guys. Let me take care of that.
Cat's free. If Cat's free, Cat, get your arse in here. Has Cat been in your channel before?
Bring the rest of you too, not just your arse.
I'll bring the whole lot of her.
Yeah,
I
bring the whole lot.
I found a superhero show. All right.
Okay.
Well, it's not a show. It's a 9-series episode. 9-episode series of and it's called The Boys Diabolical. It's on Amazon Prime. You should look it up. It's people who have taken this comic and they've made little 9 episodes about it. It's basically superheroes have been created through science. You can get an injection, you can play with babies, genetics, and create humans. And as the series goes along, you sort of follow a story, But each episode is different. And one of them, this fucking class, it looks like Cat and everything too, ever so slightly. But she drinks the super serum, she steals it and she drinks it. She's only like 11 or something. And it's done by...
That's a bad situation.
Oh, man, right? It's like done very anime sort of style, this particular one, with the big eyes and the funny noises and all that sort of old anime style. And she has this gurgling in her belly and she hears a voice and she farts and out comes a live poo, right?
A live what?
A live piece of shit with arms and legs.
Her poo's alive.
Her poo's alive. That's her superpower. She gets a talking poo that can read her mind, right?
Wait, it can read her mind.
Yes, they are communicating.
How useful is that? Hold on.
Right? Okay. Oh yeah, well there's a whole episode about superpowers that are shit and the parents just get rid of their kids and they all end up in this home for superheroes with shit powers. Like there's a guy that can turn into any animal, but when he turns into an animal, he turns into the animal's brain as well. So like if he turned into a dog,
doesn't even know he's a person.
Yeah. It's a shit superpower. So there's a home for these people, right? But the poo and her are telepathically linked. The company finds out that she's stolen the serum, so they come in and steal the poo, put it in a wee jar, and she's like, I need to get my poo back. So she goes in, tries to get it back. I can't remember the fucking name of it, right? And they do her up, give her wee eyebrows and fake hair and stuff and all. And breaks into the place, gets the poo out, can't get out of the building, so flushes the poo, right?
Yeah.
And then the guys burst into the bathroom and she's sitting on the toilet just going, Mom, I'm just taking a shit. So they kick her out. So she goes down into the sewers to go looking for her.
Looking for her talking poo, of course.
To go looking for her talking poo. She finds all, I didn't know if you were going to come for me, in a sewer pipe, right? And one of these other guys then arrives to try and...
Can it not walk?
Oh, it can. It's got legs and stuff, but it's waiting. Okay. Man, it's just been flushed down a toilet and traumatized from being kidnapped.
That is traumatizing, yeah, I imagine. I mean, I've never been flushed down a toilet, but I suppose it's not nice.
No. So they're lying there, right? And then this other guy comes down and he's trying to take her back to the place. And this is the scene that I sent Kat, right? And he's down there and he's like, I knew that you did this and I'm here to stop you and all the rest of it. And then she realizes that her magic power isn't telepathically talking to her poo. Her magic power is the ability to bring any poo she wants to life and talk to it. And all the shit around her starts to come alive. And she's like, come to me, my smelly friends. And then she attacks the other guy with all the pets. Get in here, Cat. Get in here. It's a very good show. Like it's the very first episode. They're testing on babies and one of the babies escapes. And Baby's Day Out, the movie, the show, the wee cartoon?
No, I don't.
A baby escapes and has a great day around the city while its parents or babysitter tries to catch her. And there's always something that saves the baby, walks out in front of a car. And security guard tries to stop this baby and the baby fucking lasers him in the chest about this size, falls down, pools of blood. Baby's just going off looking after a balloon with handprints through the blood. It's quite graphic. Like, it goes from cute to murderous in about 5 seconds.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but babies, that's funny because babies really are like that. Like if you're not the center of their attention, they don't give a crap about you.
Yeah.
And they just assume make you explode and just ignore that even happened and go on with their lives.
She couldn't even control the laser eye thing. She did it whenever she burped and hiccuped. Fucking laser eyes.
Who's writing this?
Seth Rogen and people like this.
Oh, well, okay. That was
right?
my number one guess, actually.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, I think, wrote one of the episodes, but it's people of his caliber and his style of humor doing a different, yeah, just like Happy Tree Friends. Happy Tree Friends is fantastic. Have you ever
I
seen
actually
Happy?
liked that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's sick. It's super sick, but I thought it was really funny because it happens to cartoons.
yeah. Beep, 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 beep. I fucking love Happy Tree Friends. But yeah,
Is
the
it
boys
is it
animation.
Happy Tree Friends? That sounds wrong.
Yes, Happy Tree Friends is the
Happy
murderous little
Tree
teddy bears.
Friends.
Yeah,
Okay.
murderous little teddy bears that kill each other. And there's a
I
no, there's a
was
moose. There's a moose as well.
Yeah, I was watching one where the squirrel is essentially Superman.
Possibly.
Yeah, and he does like the Superman thing, right? He's like at home relaxing, doing his thing, right? He's making a cake, right? He hears a scream. So he, dons his super squirrel suit, right? And flies out the window, right?
Yeah.
And the reason that there's a scream is because like his girlfriend, there's like some danger to her, maybe a dog or something's coming out. So he grabs her up and he's carrying her to safety, right?
Yeah.
But while he's carrying her to safety, there's these incoming meteors that are going to destroy the earth. And he notices them, but he doesn't have time to put her down. So he doesn't put her down, but he needs to increase his speed and like punch these meteors and make them explode.
Yeah.
Which doesn't hurt him to increase his speed. However, her eyeballs start like peeling off, her skin's coming off of her. It's like literally destroying her that he's saving the earth. So he like all of her flesh tears away. He's going at hypersonic speeds, flying toward these meteors, right? Mm-hmm. And he punches the meteors, but then he looks down and she's dead. She's just gone. No, he's holding a skeleton and some tendons.
See, something like that happens in one of these fucking episodes with a superhero, right? There's a guy that's a drug dealer to all the superheroes, right? There's one guy that drinks baby blood for recreational. There's another guy that likes coke lined with fucking adrenaline. There's all these superheroes have their own drugs. And there was one guy get off his face and whatever it was. I think he's called the Great White. And he is super fast. He can fly super duper fast, right? And he had a fucking three-way with two women up and fucking flew up into space and left them up there. And so her brother went and found this drug dealer and give him this thing to spike the drugs, for the Great White. And he turned up at like an award ceremony. Everybody's like, hello, these are the superheroes, the Great Seven are here. And he turns up tweaked as fuck, man. I mean, he's like, hey, I'm fast. And his eyes are bloodshot and he's mad. And he's being initiated into the Hall of Fame, and he has to just fly through a little ring of fire. That's it. Jump up, fly through a ring of fire as fast as he can. This boy does like 6 laps of the earth, goes up into space, ice all over him. He's flying down, hopped up as fuck, misses the ring, hits the superhero holding it, who's made of metal, goes right through him and comes out the other side and busted into bits and a big hole in the middle of the metal guy. And it's just, wipes them out. It's just, so funny. Oh,
so Super Squirrel has saved the earth, right? But he killed his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts flying around the earth backwards to its spin and reverses time.
Fucking 80s Superman 2, right?
That's right. So he brings everything back to where it was and resets it, right?
Yeah.
And he tries it in a different order, which also kills her but saves the earth. Mm-hmm. So he reverses time again. And then the third time that he hears the scream, he just puts the cake in the oven and closes the door in the oven and sets the timer. No.
And just goes and saves the earth.
No, he just makes his cake.
Fuck it. Oh, no, good show. It is a good
It
show.
was something like it didn't work out either way, no matter what he did. So he just screw it. I'm just going to make my cake.
Yeah. Does he get to eat the cake before he dies?
The show ends. You don't know.
Oh. Netflix is a new series. It's been fucking pushing like mad. You know, the way they push new shows on you in the fucking start. It's called Is It a Cake? And it's
What?
yeah, I know, right? It's a cooking show where they have 4 people in to make cakes that look like things.
Oh, I think I caught an episode of. I don't know how.
It is an American show. It is an American show because it's clearly an American show, so it would have been over there before it was over here. But yeah, they have to make a cake, and the reactions in some of these people, like fair play to these people for making cakes that look as good as the trailer shows, right? But the people judging are like, holy shit! It's like, calm the fuck down. It's a cake that looks like a rubber duck. Calm the fuck down. Don't, calm down. It's just a cake.
I don't think that all of that is actually, completely honest and
of course,
and spontaneous. And
but if that's what they're trying to do, is this what people in America enjoy and watch? It's like we want that over exaggeration.
I must know someone who was watching that, or I wouldn't even have got a glimpse. Oh, wait a minute. I remembered who it was. Yeah. Younger friends of mine, couple, they're both professionals with degrees and stuff. And she was watching it. I was just like, what's this? And she was like, oh, they make cakes that don't look like cakes. And I'm like, okay.
It's not a great description of it, but yeah. I'll not be watching that.
I caught the part where the judges are like actually eating it and commenting on the cakes and stuff.
With the tasting?
Well, that was the problem. One of them wasn't so tasty.
Ah.
So it's not just making it look like not a cake. It also has to taste like a great cake.
Ah. So there's skill involved.
I guess.
I could bake a cake, it's round, put some jam filling on it and some icing. Looks like fuck all. Sprinkle marshmallows over the top. It will win no prizes, but Elena will help me and she'll fucking love it.
Oh yeah.
Richard, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, right? And I know this is a proud dad moment, all right? And it's nobody in your channel.
Moments. They're sweet.
Nobody in your channel gives a fucking shit, all right? And I know what I'm like. But I didn't get a chance to tell you this because we were late with the food coma and then the smoke and going live here. They did a kids IQ test in Elena's class last week.
Ooh, that's definitely going to be a proud dad moment for you.
Top of the class by 20 points.
Wait, out of what? 20 points out of what?
She came 100. She has an IQ of 120.
The next nearest kid was 100.
Yes.
See, you weren't wrong.
No, it's great, isn't it? It's a confirmation. Yeah.
It's confirmation. Like, you don't think she's smart. She's actually freaky smart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If she was an adult, she's the average intelligence of a doctor. Oh. But an IQ of 120 is pretty good. And I know it's a relative.
At her age, that's amazing.
I know IQ tests are IQ tests, but regardless of what the scale is, she came out top and better than fucking everyone else by a chunk. So that's what's more important.
By let's see, out of 100, 20 is 1/5.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1/5 smarter than the rest of the kids tested.
So the teacher comments when she walks into the class in the morning. It's all, "Hi friends, how's everybody doing?" She's all very fucking bursts in. Very friendly, very friendly. But yeah, we knew that. I knew that anyway too.
Yeah. What does she know that?
What?
I mean, does she get it?
I haven't had a chance to speak to her about it because her mum told me when I dropped her off is when her mum told me. So I didn't.
What are you guys gonna do?
What do you mean? What am I gonna do?
I mean, what are you gonna do? There's a situation there. What are you gonna do?
Well, she's only 5 at the minute. Keep it going and the basics. I don't want it. The way from what I'm seeing is overloading them at a young age with too much.
That's bad. Could be
bad. So I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. We make learning fun. We learn fun, we learn by enjoying ourselves. So she picks it up naturally. As she gets older, the things we learn will get harder.
Yeah,
And
of
when it
course.
gets to a certain level, but there's no point in skipping her a class or in anything. She's in
Yeah,
primary school at the minute. She's enjoying
yeah,
herself. She's a kid. Trying to tell Elena with her personality to sit down and study is not going to work. You need to engage her in a lively
make
and
it fun. Yeah,
enjoyable way. So as she gets older, what I go through with her will get harder. So I'll just keep doing that until we
I
get to a certain point. Like if she gets to the point where she's arguing with the teachers and being suspended because she's smarter than the teacher, I'm going to
you'll
step in
promote
and
her a
do
grade.
something like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
do something about it. Yeah,
but
I have a nephew, Alec, and he was gifted at an early age with guitar.
mhm.
He was super interested in it, and it came to him easy. And so my sister got him lessons, so that he could because she doesn't play guitar at all, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
So she got him lessons, and this guy that she got as a tutor for him was actually a college teacher of musical instruments. He's like that
Yeah,
classically trained, knows what the hell, like a real tutor that
yeah,
costs money,
yeah.
you know. So it was about a year and a half down the road after that. The kid's like 14 years old, and the tutor goes to my sister and says, do you want me to just like stagnate him and keep him where he is, or just like start showing him the college stuff? Because he's done. He's
Mhm.
done with the high school level stuff and below. Do
Yeah,
you want me to just keep going? And what do you want me to say to him? She goes, no, just act like it's normal and keep going.
yeah.
The kid is phenomenal now.
Mhm.
It's crazy. He plays like he's 60 with that kind of experience. He's just amazing.
She likes to listen to either two things when she's going to bed, either the Cinderella CD that tells the story of Cinderella that she can fall asleep to, or else the classical radio music station. I can't fucking stand classical music. She puts it on the car and all as well and thinks that it thinks that I'm going to turn it up as fucking loud as Rage Against the Machine. Sorry, honey, I don't like that much. You can
Oh,
listen to
you
that
shouldn't
later.
say that.
Oh no. She has her own opinions. We have an agreement where she goes, it's your turn, daddy, then my turn, then your turn. She
Oh,
understands.
okay. You guys figured a system.
She's even fucking smart enough, the wee bits that she did this in me, and I said it to her as well. I said to her, you're only allowed one nice thing after your lunch, right? One biscuit or whatever like this here.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, how
For the
about three?
Americans, he just said cookie.
Cookie, right? Biscuit, cookie, yogurt, a nice thing after dinner, like a wee dessert or whatever.
Sure.
And I says, no, you're getting one. And she goes, well, how about three, daddy? And I says, no, you're getting one. And she goes, well, how about a compromise when we meet in the middle and you just give me two? And I went, you think that, okay, I can't say no to that, but it's
But
like,
she chose three because she
yeah.
wanted two.
Oh, I said that to her as well. I was like, so you just said three, so you'd get two, didn't you? And she went, I'm getting two, aren't I? You fucking knew you were getting two. Fucking,
She admitted it. Oh my God, that's hilarious. She's gonna get what she wants.
mm-hmm.
She's smart. Good for her.
She knows, she is a smart wee cookie.
As long as it doesn't become the point of pride where she starts using it to hurt others.
No, that's what I've told her that we've laid it down, and not on the smart thing or anything like that. But she knows that it's a good thing to help others. It's a good thing to stand up for others. She already knows
Right.
that.
That's an alpha human who uses their gifts to benefit others. That's an alpha.
I've told you the
That's
story.
a leader.
We picked a flower one time and she was for taking it home for her mum. And we went round the corner and a wee guy's playing in the garden, must have been half her age. And he came over and said hello. Well, as a child does at this stage. And she gave him the flower, even though the mother was shouting no, because this is during COVID. And she gave it to the wee lad. And I said to her after we walked away, I was like, that was for your mum. Why'd you give it to him? And she was like, because it made him happy, daddy. Did you not see? It's sacrifice and nice things for other people. She understands that.
Good. I think you're both, whatever you two are doing, you're doing something right.
She could turn out to be 11 and go the complete opposite way and use her powers for evil. We don't know yet, but at the moment she's doing well, and I'm happy enough at that.
Yeah.
I did turn her into Pink Floyd. She does like Pink Floyd as well.
That's not so bad. Pink Floyd's good stuff.
But good numeracy, good word recognition is what the teacher said as well. Like if you had a book in front of her and you asked her to pick out the word, she'd just be, there's it there, for the words that she does know.
Right.
She has maybe problems writing things backwards the odd time. Very, very rarely. But
that's not abnormal for that age, though.
for that age, yeah. But it's something, if it continues, maybe a wee bit of dyslexia. I still now have a bad habit of typing and putting letters back to front, and not just EA and I before C.
No one ever noticed that, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So keep a wee eye and help that out. But yeah, I will stop talking about her. I will stop. It's all on you now, Richard.
No, that's great. The problem, in my view, in our societies, in European descent societies, is we say something like, that individual is brilliant. They need to go and work and improve things. We need them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what happens is they don't have kids. And because that happens so profoundly, we have less and less really outstanding, brilliant people being born.
I think I've seen something in that before. People who would go through careers and people who things like that, there cannot, with the society we have, you have to either focus on your money or focus on your family. You don't really have a choice if you want to go, into that certain field, especially starting out or whatever and all. It's very, very difficult. Maybe meet someone in college or whatever, but that's not your goal. Your goal is your education.
Right.
Then if they do have kids, it's even later in life as well. Yeah. So, and they have less of them, where you come out of high school and you spend your weekends getting drunk in the pub.
Here's my solution to the problem. If someone looks like they should probably have an IQ test because they're outstanding in their field, like a scarecrow, that's a joke. Then and they score well, say they score in the 95 or higher percentile, government should write them a check every month.
Like a universal income, guaranteeing that
universal for IQ.
Yeah.
Just that.
Well, IQ, I wouldn't say necessarily directly IQ. I think IQ tests are now over 150 years old.
It should be universal. We'd have to make some improvements and make it better. I agree. It needs help. Okay. Yeah. But we need to make intelligent people available to have children. And we don't. We make it unavailable. And that's dumb. It's suicide.
I don't want to be up my own fucking ass and all as well, but it's about attention to detail. It's about looking after your kids. The first few years, push them in this, that, and the other. Well, not push them, but introduce them to things. A lot of parents these days just TV screen. There's a fucking TV screen.
They're lazy. They don't want to put in the effort that the kid deserves.
Donna has fucking bought Elena not a laptop, a fucking screen, an iPad or whatever the fuck it is, and a DS, and she has a TV in her fucking room. When she comes here, there's a TV in the living room. So we spend most of the time, even when the TV in the living room, music on. So she does get a balance. But if a lot of parents and everybody, and you take that to an extreme, how many screens is there in a house? Ignoring the 5 that's here. I'm sounding like a hypocrite, all right? But how many, kids with TV screens it is, as you say, it's just lazy. A lot of people now are tired as well because they have to get up to go to work in the morning. So when the child wakes in the middle of the night, you don't have that option to sit with them for 3 hours because they're just crying because they want attention. You're going to put them in a food coma and put them back to bed again. So the child then gets into the fucking pattern of just crying, getting food. They're now 3 and 4. All of a sudden we've got kids that just yap to get things and they're overweight. And it's,
yeah,
I could ramble on.
Man, when I was a kid in the hills of the Appalachian Mountains, there were no fat kids.
Yeah.
Like you never saw a fat kid. That just didn't happen.
We had one person in our group who I wouldn't say he's still overweight, but wouldn't have been obese, but always a big kid. He was that embarrassed about it. He would wear his t-shirt going swimming,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that this is any way bad, but as you're saying about running around and not having money and doing these things, this wee lad was spoilt because his father was shot by the IRA. He was a part of a government place, so he got a stipulation, simulate, whatever the fuck it is. So there was always money coming into the house. They could also apply for free holidays. They could also apply for free caravans. he was fucking spoiled.
Yeah.
So throwing money at people isn't necessarily a good thing. The actual attention to detail has to be there as well. You have to have a parent that wants to do that as well.
And for me, I mean, I was never going to be some scholar or anything like that, but I mean, we all ended up in really good shape. I learned a lot of skills on the farm. No, we didn't have money at all.
Yeah.
We were like barely scraping by all the time, but I learned a lot of useful life skills because of that too.
Dog in the chat saying you were too busy running around making moonshine. You can joke
Yeah.
all you want, but I fucking did when I was maybe about 13 or 14. I was selling fucking moonshine in school to cover my fucking. I had no idea where it came from. Don't know where it came from. Totally didn't help me.
And dog, you're wrong. I was never that cool. I'm not saying there weren't kids doing it. I just wasn't one of the cool kids.
Fuck, I wasn't saying that I'm cool for fucking making it either. Like, you know, I didn't make it with people. I made it with my old fucking, with my father, or I say now is my father, my stepfather, because he's like yourself, Richard. Grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere, farming, out in the fields, life skills, hard work.
Yeah.
You know, I hate the phrase pull your socks up. There has to be a better way of saying that. I despise that phrase, but putting the effort in, you do get the effort out. If you do, you know, it is maybe a better way of saying it, but you get what you put out. You get out what you put in.
In a simple, you get what you work for.
Yeah, you get what you work for in this society. All right.
Yeah.
You know, there is different ways of doing societies and things, but I don't know. I was fucked into the, like, during the summer, Ma would literally make us a lunch. She's no school. She has to do stuff at the house, you know. Doesn't want us around, so to speak, because we're under her feet, as she would put it. Not that she doesn't love her kids, but I've housework and shit to do. Just because you're off school doesn't mean I'm changing what I'm doing. Like, you know, you're in my way. Get out, right? And there's no computers. Well, there's a Commodore, but that takes 20 minutes to load a fucking game. So there's no computers. Pong and shit, you know. And makes you a packed lunch, opens the glass doors in the living room, points at the fields and says, come back when you're hungry. And there's a lunch to keep you away for longer. Where you go. And, you know, you just run about the fields and you run in the rivers and
corn whiskey, moonshine is crap. It's horrible. You want to try something that you'll like that tastes good. If you ever hear of a place you can get some elderberry wine, and it's not wine like at the wine at the store.
No, it's elderberry
it's like
flower.
50% wine. It's like 50% alcohol wine.
With the elderberry flower.
Oh,
yeah.
No, the elderberry, the berry itself.
Well, the berry itself.
The berry itself. If you can get a hold of some of that, wow.
I've tried. Well, not that we usually. Where I get my moonshine from would generally be spuds or mainly now rotten fruit.
Yeah.
Any old fucking thing that they can get their fucking hands on. Does not matter. And when you make a mixture, regardless of what you get, you know, statistically, it's all going to taste the same. It's like you mix every color together, you always get brown. Doesn't matter what proportions you put in, you always get brown. Now, I know brown is bad, but I've just got so used to that taste. And like we've tried it with brandy balls to make it, you know, taste ever so slightly like whiskey and this, that, and the other. I just can't get past how it tastes. It tastes better when it ages as well. There's stuff there that's maybe 5 and 6 years old, and it's not even been aged in anything nice. It's sitting in a 20-liter plastic mayonnaise bucket for fucking maybe 5 or 6 years. You know, and it's still nice. It's got that smoothness to it. You know, when people say you drink moonshine, it's like, wow. People drink the moonshine because it's freshly made. You need to make it there and then to drink it there and then. But if you make it and leave it, the same with any alcohol, it
smooths out. Yeah.
It smooths out. Yeah.
I can respect that, cat. Yeah.
Reminds me of my childhood. Someone mentions Patsy and I think of my childhood too. It's fucking insane, cat. Krishna's on the Irish cream. I can't drink that.
Oh, that's tasty stuff. That is so tasty.
Bailey's is what we would have over here, which would be the big.
Well, Bailey's over here is a brand of Irish cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be the big one over here. So I'm just seeing if we're drinking the same thing. Like,
yeah.
You
don't like it?
Do you know creme de menthe?
Well, Grandma said de menthe.
Right.
Yes. It was
If you
it was in the adult bowl of eggnog at Christmas at Grandma's house. There
right,
was a
well, you get
children's
creme de menthe.
bowl and an adult's bowl.
You get a shot glass. Now I'm not talking your fucking. I don't know what it is over in America, but we have quite big shot glasses over here relative to Europe and stuff.
Okay.
But you take a good sized shot glass, right, and you
Yeah.
fill it 3/4 of the way up with creme de menthe, and then the
Okay.
Baileys you put on the top, and it separates. Obviously, it doesn't stay. It looks green, and it's like a wee mini green pint, and you call that a chalk pot, right? That's what they're called over here. It's a shot.
Yeah.
And we had very little money when we were in college, university, whatever you want to call it, one night. And there's 3 of us. So we all chipped in and we bought a big giant bottle of creme de menthe and a big giant bottle of Baileys. And we sat in my room, which is smaller than this room, man.
Of course it was.
3 sweaty fucking boys drinking the fuck out of it, right? And we ended up going and getting beer. We made a beer city in the middle of my fucking... Like, with that many beer cans between the 3 rooms, we had a beer city built in the middle of the floor. I woke up the next morning, the smell of my room between spilt, week-old beer, creme de menthe spilt, Bailey's spilt. I got up, I threw up, I went to the kitchen, I went to the fridge. I had no milk left. Some fucker had drank my milk, so the only thing I had was vitamin fruit juice.
Okay.
So I knacked that. Took maybe a half liter of that. That didn't agree with me well. Went and threw that up. Didn't eat all day. No, I will not ever drink Baileys ever, or creme de menthe ever again.
Probably have no stomach for it now after that.
I don't want to put anyone down, but PTSD, man. It's like, no, don't drink that. No, it's fucking bad, man. I
still have nightmares.
I swear to fuck, it was bad. I felt awful.
Here's an American commercial for a beer that Kat Cienfuegos just mentioned. Milwaukee's best. When you need a beer bad, we've got a bad beer.
Really?
I'm kidding. I totally made that up. But everyone knows that Milwaukee's best is like exactly that, a cheap beer.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Well, my father will not drink anything but Tesco's Finest, and Tesco's like Walmart over here. He's like, it's all the same, Robbie. And he doesn't drink beer to get drunk. He would drink beer with his dinner or something like that, or on a hot day, because he finds beer would quench his thirst more so than, and he's a big man, Tommy doesn't get fucking drunk. He's not an alcoholic or anything like that. But he would just buy the cheapest shit. He's like, it's all tastes the same. That one's 12p a can. That one's £1 a can.
There you go. That was easy.
Yeah. What happened to me with whipped cream when I was a kid?
That happened with me.
Yeah. Whipped cream. Now I can see it. It's bigger. Yeah. That happened to me with whipped cream when I was a kid. I got so sick I could never have whipped cream again. I've done that with Elena. She's like, Daddy, can I have some of that? And she tilted her head back. You know that we spray cans? And I spread it up to about here, and she just no, I like whipped cream. Yeah, I spray.
Just make sure she holds her breath, and don't tell her why.
Not that I'm worried. She's always going to have fucking lung problems. She has always got a cold or a flu or a runny nose or something. Same as I fucking do. Not that I'm sick with it, but
right.
She does have asthma.
Yeah.
If her mum ever watches this, she'll shout at me, but I give Elena half the fucking inhalers that I'm supposed to because I want to put strength in it. And I find that her mum gives the inhaler too much. So it's not like she's starved with it here. And I always have it on me. If she fucking panics or she needs it, it's in my pocket. She gets it. But, you wake up in the morning, she's supposed to get 2 puffs of one and 1 of the other. I'm like, why? Why? Why does she need 3 first thing in the morning when she's just woke up from fucking sleep? I'll give her the one that has the steroids in it, and she doesn't need the other 2 because they're just like,
Well, there's steroid and then there's reaction medication. Are they having you give her a steroid and a reaction medication at the beginning of the day?
2 brown, 1 blue.
I don't know what brown and blue mean. Brown is usually reaction or emergency, and blue is usually steroid. Or is it the other way around?
It's the other way around here.
Okay.
Other way around. Whenever I was growing up as a kid, if
Well,
anyone
it's
said
been
they-
25 years since I dealt with an
I
asthmatic. I
never seen
probably
a
just
brown.
have it
I
backwards.
never seen a brown one until I had Elena, and they said that
Yeah.
she has, asthma. She can grow out of it, like, but I never seen a brown one before
Right.
that. Because if any of the kids were ever at school, it was always the blue one. It seemed to me reactionary,
My stepdaughter, which, let's see, I'm turning 54 in May. She's 9 years my junior, 10 years my junior some of the year. So, yeah, I mean, she's 44-ish. And she kind of grew out of the asthma thing, but so that's how long ago it was that she was a kid and I was dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will grow out of it, hopefully grow out of it, but
often, but not every time. Yeah.
But she's supposed to get one brown in the morning, and her mum she's always got a problem in her chest. She's always get this, give her 2 brown in the morning and give her 1 blue. And I'm like, no, I'm giving her 1 brown. That's, the doctor says she needs 1 brown, she's getting 1 brown. She does, like, there's a difference between wrapping the child up and fucking mollycoddling it, and then there's sometimes you need to push the limits. Like, Elena's afraid of heights. We're going to the tallest fucking thing I can find, and we're going to walk to the top. It's...
and if someone tells you that that's wrong or cruel or mean or something like that, point out that is a normal way of a psychologist helping a person deal with fears, is that they address the fear where they're uncomfortable, not dying from it, but uncomfortable with it. And every time they go and experience that fear, they push themselves a little bit further, and they're okay. And they see that they're okay, and they build up, and they can the fear doesn't go away. Okay. Because the fear is another thing, but the overreaction to the fear goes away.
Yeah. I've said that to Elena as well. There's nothing wrong with, like, she'll get very upset and things and certain things. It's like, you don't need to react this way because this thing happened. We understand why it happened. Hey, B. Hey, Beck. We don't need to, this thing happened. Let's now deal with it.
Right.
Bangs her knee or something like that. It still hurts, Daddy. I'm like, yeah, I know it still hurts, but you want to have fun. I guarantee if you go and play in the swing for 5 minutes, you'll forget about the pain. I don't want it. It's so hard. Someone distracts her. She's on the swing. She forgets about the pain. It's... I don't drink whiskey at all. I would drink Pachin very, very rarely. I most of the time, the Pachin that I would have in the house is the medical Pachin. When you're making it, the first batch that comes off, you don't drink. That's the stuff makes you blind. You need to test it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What's Pachin?
Pachin is moonshine.
Okay.
Over here, it's Poteen.
Okay.
And it's pronounced Pachin. And that's
okay.
the
so
proper
Pachin. CH. All right, got that.
Proper Pachin is made only from spuds, right? But what you would call generalized moonshine, we would call generalized as Pachin. That's our term for it.
Well, wait. Why does the top off of potato alcohol cause blindness? I don't understand that. Welcome, dog.
The very, very first, whenever the moonshine and the Pachin that's coming off at the very, very start, it's very, very high. It's mixture of everything that's in the actual mixture. You need to wait till you get to that right temperature. So
that's the hedge.
Hey, dog.
They call that the hedge, Robbie.
The hedge.
Got the heads, the hearts, and the tails of when you.
The heads and the tails are basically the same.
Well, the tails is what you put back into the still. The heads is what you make nail polish remover off of it. I mean, it's just
well, that's what I'm saying. Most of the Pachin that would be in my house, I would actually use medically because I am very prone to cold sores, and I can't fucking deal with cold sores. I hate them. They're fucking awful. All right, they're an awful thing. I really don't like them, and I would be very tempted 90% of the time to just rip the top off and put fucking Pachin in it, and then it turns into a scab, and I can deal with a scab. It's not itchy. It's not sore. It doesn't swell up and look like I'm a fucking leper. And now, don't get me wrong. When you peel the top off, you throw Pachin in, you feel like you're cutting your foot off. It's sore. It stings, But I can deal with that rather than the constant.
Oh, I'd much rather be in pain than have an itch, a bad itch. Oh, no way.
No. But a cold sore is not a bad itch. If you've ever had one, they're not great. Like, And you've seen me when I'm sick, when I've got my cold sores can get out of control if I'm worn down and haven't been eating correctly, and then I end up with shingles. It's happened twice in fucking 6 years. You know, so I'm going to
avoid that. Yeah,
I'm going cold sore with patching and crying. You know, that's better for 5 minutes than the day long of the cold sore. No, I don't like cold sores.
If I have something that itches on me, I will scratch it until it is bleeding really good, and the itch won't come back.
Yeah,
and I don't care how much that takes. I will scratch it till it does not itch.
There you go. Cat's breaking it down, and Cat's probably doing it the right way. My dad would, no, not my dad. This other guy that we get it off, he would just dip the finger in like this. No, can't touch it yet. No, can't touch it yet. Okay, this is the good stuff.
Yeah, the methanol will burn off first. It's the ethanol you want.
Yeah,
and that's known as the heart of the still, and that's the good shit. You can make
right. This
boil up
person,
any biological matter and make alcohol out of anything, really. Human blood. You can make alcohol. You just add a yeast.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
You just break the sugars down in the blood, and is your blood.
This particular person,
Catholics do it all the time, Richard.
This particular person that we would get the patching off went and got one of the old fashioned. Do you know the big milk things? Oh, I can't remember the name of them. We would have them over here. You know, it's like a big urn. Only it's about 6 foot, or about 4 foot, 5 foot. You know the ones I'm talking about, the real old fashioned ones. Went and got one of them. Got proper copper piping, a big ass blue barrel. Put the copper piping in the blue barrel down and has it out. And made a proper old fashioned one. And the very first way he did it, and he didn't want to fucking cost him any money. He went to the local market and went to the local, grocer in the market, and big, and what we would say big gypsy lady, all right, you know what I mean, Irish traveler, I think it's the proper term now, runs this fucking grocers, and she said, anything you're throwing out, keep for me, and I'll give you a couple of bottles when I'm done. Sorted. So he got free fruit, left it to rot, and then went to the local fucking factory bakery, big massive bakery. And it was just, can I get some yeast? Yeah, I will sell you some yeast. Sold him this big fuck off block of industrial yeast. And yeah, good stuff. Learned how to do it in a local library. Went in to make his own beer. And right beside the beer section, there's making patching. And it was called Praise the Patching or Praise of Patching. He was like, I'll buy that. Oh, look, this is how they did it in the 1800s. I could do that. That's fucking easy. I can weld. I'm now rambling.
I normally I use corn flour and then chop up some fruit, apples or whatever. Throw in a couple of malt bread, the malt loaves we have over here. Throw in a couple of them and just top it up with water. Leave it with put in a wine yeast in there, normally champagne yeast. A sachet of that. Leave it for a couple of weeks and then just boil it up. And that stuff will blow your fucking head off.
Yeah.
I mean, it seriously is like 80% ABV.
Why would I want to try it? It's going to blow my fucking head off. Isn't that like Russian roulette? Like,
it's a good drunk because you don't know what's happening because your brain is still sober, convincing itself that it's sober, but like you're fucking wankered and you're like, it's like that.
Well, I did that a couple of weeks ago on my local. I like my real ales, and I didn't have my glasses, so I was just saying, what's the new ale you got on? Give me some of that. I didn't know it was 6% proof. I was just sitting there drinking with the missus, and I couldn't walk home. I couldn't realise, but I couldn't get home. I was
6%. Don't drink wine, buddy. Wine's like fucking 13 or 14. That'd kill you.
You drink that in little glasses. I was drinking a pint of this ale, and it was just
look. Don't you let women fool you. They get little glasses, but a lot of them, and they will kill that fucking bottle, and they will be trashed. And these guys are walking around going, "I drink beer," and I'm like, "Bitch, drink wine. That shit'll fuck you up." I mean, it'll sneak up on you too because it's sweet, it tastes good. You just drink it. Next thing you know, you're like, "Wow," and then you wake up with a fucking huge headache.
Do you know the Duke
hi, brother. How you doing?
Hi.
You You know the Duke of Edinburgh, dog?
What?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
The
Duke of Edinburgh.
Right. The Duke of Edinburgh is a course that when you're on school,
Good job.
it's that's what it's called. You get your bronze, your silver, and your gold. And I'm not sure what age it is. You're maybe about 15, 16, dog, yeah? Somewhere around
Yeah,
that.
you can do it then. There's also the Prince of Wales one as well, which is basically the same.
Well, yeah. And what they do
Oh, of
is
course.
a teacher, maybe a teacher or two, will take you through reading a map. I'm explaining to you, you understand, right? You spend a couple of weeks learning how to read maps and learning how to do basic safety courses and things like that and looking after yourself and all that sort of crack. And then what they do is they take you to one side of the mountains and they dump you. And then they drive to the other side. And then in a day or so, they'll pick you up on the other side of the mountains. So you have to maybe walk 8 or 9 miles. You have to camp out. You have to fucking, cook your own food and all that bollocks.
Oh, fuck that. I can't have cereal that I just buy out the store, throw some milk on it.
Right. You see, this is the thing, right? This is the thing, right? We did the practice run, right? Which was out with 2 teachers, a male teacher who is very, very friendly with the ladies, and a female teacher in the artwork department who I think everybody in our school would have fantasized about because she was a very good looking art teacher. So them 2 were taking us. She had to walk us over the mountain the next day. Right. But they send out an arbiter, a person, to make sure that everything's being done right. So all of that's being done right.
Good idea.
We're all living off the land. We're camping out. We've set up our tents. We've done the walk and stuff. And the male teacher comes over and he's like, right, I'm going to take this woman home because she's not staying the night. She's just going home. Does anybody want anything from the off license or Friar Tucks when I'm coming back?
Everybody's like
that, right? But I brought
a list of fucking.
There's about 10 of
like
us.
My
right?
boss's Amazon shopping list because she just throws money.
10, 15-year-olds ordering fucking alcohol. Plus, I brought a liter of Apache and I stole from the house, right? But
we picked it up for them.
No. I did it in my bag. Obviously, they don't.
No. I'm saying the guy picked it up for the kids.
Oh yeah. No, me as well. I'm there, right? Right. He drives the fucking woman off and drops her in Warren Point, and in Warren Point there's Friar Tucks. So it's like Friar Tucks over here is massive. It's like the biggest local. The chicken burgers are insane. The coleslaw's it's like it's a fucking.
So I'm on cereal tonight. Don't talk about meat. Go ahead.
Right. So he brings that back. We all get loaded up in this shit, right? Big ass campfire. I'm talking fucking Castaway campfire because we all got out of control. I made fire. This sort of shit, right? We run out of wood really, really quickly. So we're taking turns at going looking for wood, and we're at like the bottom of a mountain, right? Bottom of a fucking mountain. Just like I'm fucking halfway up the fucking mountain. Me and this boy go looking for fucking wood, and I set my glass Apache down beside the tree. And I grabbed the tree because there's no dead wood left. I'm breaking a fucking branch off the tree. I don't give a shit. Bouncing in this motherfucker. Oh yeah, that bastard broke and I fucking rolled down that motherfucking hill. And everybody
sounds like something I do, man.
Everybody comes run down the tent. You all right? And I spin around like this here, and my mate's coming down the fucking hill, running with my fucking patchy. And I was like, "Grand, such and such is coming. We're sure." Doesn't matter. Woke up the next morning, the teacher's tent had 4 bottles of wine between 2 people outside the fucking front of the teacher's tent. And the male teacher got into the minibus and he was like, I've shit to do. Pissed off and left the fucking female teacher to take 10 half-drunk teenagers over the fucking mountain. He was like, I'll pick you up at the other end. She had no clue. She got us lost. Me and an guy had to fucking put us back in map again. He was hungover as shit.
Dude.
Character building.
Wine will do. I'm serious, man. Wine will. You drink some of the best shit is like 15% and everything, and these men are like, I drink beer. Shit, I'm telling you, you drink some wine with some women, if you can keep up with them. I mean, we just did they decided at work, all the girls at work. This is really funny because I work in a doctor's office, right? So they decided at the end of the day on Monday at 5 p.m. when we lock the door anyways, they're going to do wine tasting. I'm like, I don't care, whatever.
That's a nice way to say get plastered.
They don't drink all, but they get like 2 or 3 bottles, all the same genre, different brands, different whatever, made from different places. And they're all like, Michelle prints up the, I don't know, demographics of the wine or whatever you call it, the description. And they're all like,
like rosé and all that.
I taste oak. And I'm over there going, let me try that other one. I'm just trying to hang out with my girlfriend and I'm drinking free wine. So I'm like,
here.
I just take 2 Tylenol before we start because it always gives me a fucking headache.
A proper wine tasting, you're supposed to swirl it around and spit it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't do that. I'm drinking.
Nobody was doing that.
Nobody was doing that.
I'm with the 3 girly girls. Ain't none of them spitting, first of all. That shit ain't going to happen. None of them are going to spit. Heather would probably never spit in front of me anyway, so that's not going to happen.
You don't have to be Michelle, good at it.
Yeah, Michelle probably could. Oh, I'm sure she could fucking spit. She grew up like a tomboy almost.
Another thing that happened last week was the school was telling Elena things that you shouldn't do, bad habits and stuff like that. And one of them was picking your nose. You're not supposed to pick your nose in public. And she was telling me on the phone when her mum was beside her. And she's like, yep, not allowed to pick your nose anymore. It's a bad habit. And she's all, the mum's sort of pushing this. And I'm talking to Elena, but I can't see her mum. Her mum's behind the phone. And I was like, that's no bother. I'll just teach her the farmer's one. And she went, what? Oh, there you go. Yeah. No tissue required. Yeah. No picking your nose. And she took the phone off Elena and went, if you fucking teach her that, I'll fucking kill you. And give the phone back, Elena.
Dude, my brothers were doing that because, Richard's 3 or Keel's 4. Walt never fucking did it. Let's be honest. It'd be more likely for Susan to do it than Walt. He was always just like quiet and reading books and shit. Of course, we didn't know he was autistic, so that changed everything. Yeah. I found that out recently. Nice. My childhood makes sense. But anyways, so Keel used to do that all the time. Richard's done it before, like when his hands are nasty. Yeah. Except they do this. They do the one thumb, the up high thumb.
Yeah.
And then I got older and older, and I was like, well, I'm never doing that. That's disgusting. When my hands are dirty or my hands are full, because I figured I'm allergic to tissue. So I have to have a handkerchief. It's either my handkerchief or I blow it on my clothes or something. So I'm like,
you're allergic to paper
fuck
dust.
This. Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not going to have a sinus infection because I use the tissue.
That's the bad way of doing it, Beck. You can't do that. You end up with it on your hand.
No, I do it like this.
Yeah, you have to get.
No, it's fine. I got the tilt, man.
You've got the tilt. Yeah.
Oh, that felt good. Thanks, guys. I needed that.
That's fucking rotten.
Well, Richard, you wanted the fucking Hangout to feel better. You just left the screen because you're giggling that much. So I think we achieved that.
Yeah, well, my stomach's hurting, my face is getting sore, the muscles are getting tired from smiling. So yeah, it's working out.
Good.
Why are you having a bad day, brother? You need to talk to me.
Not really
You're
having
a mental health coach.
Day. It's just not really. I can't call it a bad day because for me personally, it's been a great day. But I did kind of lose my crap a little bit with somebody. And I shouldn't have done that, and I don't feel good about it,
But I've known you for a long time, Richard. I've never known you to lose your shit over anyone.
Well, I didn't lose my crap accidentally or out of control I did it really in a contrived, thoughtful, purposeful kind of way. I know.
It's funny because last week
I did it as politely as I could as I went off on the bastard.
No, I did it purposefully, not politely.
Whenever we were talking last week on the show, Richard, or 2 weeks ago when we did the show, we did actually discuss how I'd seen you angry and pissed off, and you were like, "No, I've been known to be frustrated, but I've never been angry." I was like, "I've seen you shout a few times." No, I don't do that. Does happen.
Yeah, well, we all snapped at some point. I went off on my stream last night. Go watch that. I was fucking telling everybody to fuck off, and if you don't like it, get the fuck out of my damn shit. And they all stayed there.
Today I was more out of control than you've ever heard me, Rob. Really, seriously.
Oh, really?
Really.
Oh.
And what I did,
I just want to sort of go look at it now.
And I hope they didn't notice. Let me see if they're in the chat first.
Did you poison them?
No. I did a mixture between Hannibal in the jail scene where he's judging what's the agent's name?
Jodie Foster. Lisa.
Clarice.
Clarice. He's judging how far she is from trailer trash. And I mixed that with the movie. The young character's name is Charlie. The old man's name, he's a war vet. He's blind now. Scent of a Woman.
Oh, Scent of a Woman. Yeah. That's
where
great.
he's like defending Charlie in front of the judge of the schools and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like mixed those two together and just said it loud and forcefully. But that's not me at all. Either one of those beings are not, that's not me, you know?
Hey, I hate to tell you, man, and I know this is going to come as a big shock, and I want you to be prepared. So are you sitting down?
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be super predictable, actually.
You're fucking human.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
See, but I wasn't actually like out of control crazy. I was doing two different characters from movies I've seen.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Your anger was disguised
I don't think that's
as a movie impression, so it's okay. I'm gonna go with what Beck says. You're fucking human. Doesn't happen much with you, but it happened.
Look, okay, hold on.
Okay, if your idea of being out of control and crazy and angry out of control is to do two different characters from two movies you've seen at the same time.
Richard, I'm going no, Richard.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. That's like the most chilled asshole I've ever heard.
Hold on, Richard. Going by your own description, it was the most angry I've ever seen you.
More angry than you've seen me, yeah.
Right. So that's going off.
You can go back and watch it. It's on Plastic Jesus.
Oh, how long before you arrived? I'll have to watch the whole thing.
Well, Richard and I have been on atheist streams.
There's this really cool feature where if you put your mouse indicator on the slide bar, you can look for when people are.
You see, Richard forgot he gave me administrative powers. He can be smart in his own way. I can still kick him.
It's technology. It's fascinating.
And he just leaves. Fuck technology. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I've streamed with Richard on atheist channels, and he keeps his shit together well. I've never known him to lose it at all. That's why I've got much respect for the man. Oh, he's back.
Thank you. I only get actually upset when I think people are being dishonest. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I don't have any tolerance for that either. I'm right there with you. I would rather somebody just look at me and go and tell me to fuck off than to lie to me, because I know where I stand. I'm fine. I'm not gonna be mad about it. I might tell them to fuck off too, but I'm not gonna be like butthurt because now I know where me and that guy are, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, all the way. Best way to be.
I just tell people, I'm like, look, we don't get along, and they look at me like, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, do we? And they're like, no. And I'm like, so let's just work together and just avoid all the bullshit and stroking each other and kissing each other. I'm not doing that. Let's just stop doing that, and we'll just talk about work as necessary and move on with our fucking lives. What do you think? And the guy was like, all right. And I was like, sweet, fuck you. And he goes, fuck you. And we walked away from each other. And it was fine after that. We actually got along better after that.
Yeah, that guy at work that put his hands on me, and we had that whole fucking incident. I got 2 packets of flapjacks this morning and threw him a packet. You know, I was like, here, I'm not going to eat the 2 of them. You know, we laugh. Funny story, I was off for St. Paddy's Day and off the Friday, and I told Richard, and I've said about the reason he laid his hands on me and all this big fight, because he wanted back in the drill. He wanted to do what I'm doing. He was on it, doing it on Thursday and Friday when I was off. Guess what he did? He fucking busted the drill. He busted that motherfucker completely. We had to get
he busted it completely. That was an old drill. How did somebody manage to break it?
Those things are like
when you put the whole thing in, there's like a cone with the drill bit out, you know, then and you put that up into it, completely locked. When I come in, the drill bit's busted on the table, and the drill bit's about 2 inches off the table. The drill bit's longer than 3 inches. So I'm thinking he shot it down, forced this motherfucking thing up into it. We had to get a specialist guy in with a giant hydraulic pump to take off the connections, put these connections on, to bust the lock, to take it out, redo the piston. 3 days, no fucking drill. No, broke it Thursday afternoon. So Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Only get back up working the day. 4 days, no fucking
I just want to say that if you're doing machining, when you're machining shit, you really need that drill.
I have 5.
You use it all the time, is my point.
Fucking 5 pallets of shit to do. I do a pallet a day, and I have 5 pallets to do tomorrow. And I know the cunt's going to ask me for overtime. I'm going to tell him to go fuck himself.
Right?
Fucking, I don't get paid.
Make that guy work fucking overtime at half the fucking
exactly
rate
what
because
I
he broke the goddamn machine.
He does 6 hours extra a week more than me. So that 6 hours extra, he can fucking spend it on the drill when I'm not there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can I just say to Cryptomaria, I know she's bluntly honest. I watched her stream the other night, and she weren't afraid to admit she owns her Bay City Rollers LP. I'm hoping that was in the sell pile.
That's brave. I don't care who you are.
But that's blunt as well.
Yeah.
To admit that. She admitted she showed it. And I'm hoping it was in the sell pile, the Bay City Rollers LP.
I felt like I was brave before, but now I don't.
Hey, if anytime, anywhere, ever, the fucking Backstreet Boys' back comes on, I'll be fucking dancing my ass off, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And that's not my style of music. We'll just get into that, you know.
Y'all are silly.
You are silly, Robbie. You're fucking hilarious.
I'd only dance to that for being on the moonshine. A couple of pints of it.
I had a doctor at work. I had a doctor at work smack my arm. Robbie, I can't believe I didn't punch her.
No, that's the whole front of the fucking drill. All pulled off. Silly bastard as well. Also took the 2 screws out the front. You know, the cover.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pause you. We have 2 people now. Welcome, Krishna and Midnight.
How you doing?
Hi, both of you. How are you guys? Folks,
Justin. Hi, Justin.
I don't know if you're male or female. I just say guys to everybody. Don't want to get offended.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a guy. I just like using female avatars. And I think Krishna does too.
Okay. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to offend anybody.
Say that's
call Midnight a snowball. Just call Midnight a snowball. You're definitely
fuck off. Robbie,
got
Ronnie, or Rudy, or whatever the fuck your name is.
Robert, you got it right the first time.
Yeah, yeah. I'll call you whatever I want.
Screw it.
We got room for 10, guys. Don't be shy if you want to.
Thank you for that as well, Richard.
No, but okay, so Robbie, I was at work. Speaking of people striking you at work, I was at work and we have a doctor that she's been practicing like 25, 26 years. She's old school doc and kind of thinks everybody should like bow down. Oh, doctor, you know what I mean? Like she's one of those people. She was, you know, she started practicing back in the day when people would walk in there and they were all had no clue because there was no internet and people didn't have medical reference books in their house. And the doctor would say, you need to do this. And they'd say, yes, sir, doctor. And they'd just go do it because they didn't know. Yeah. So now people are more learned and they question her and it pisses her off. But anyways, so a patient had handed me this paperwork and said, hey, I need to put this in my file. You guys never received it. And I checked and she was right. I said, sure, no problem. She's like, hey, can you also fax this over to the specialist for me? Like, sure, absolutely. You know, so I fill out it, get the fax cover sheet like you're supposed to because of HIPAA, and you put the person's name on, which this is where I don't understand it. You put their name and date of birth on it. Anyways,
because it's a secret. Damn it. It's obvious.
And then you write on like what department it's going to and everything. Like you do everything but give the fucker the results. But anyways, so I fill out the fact sheet and I'm filling it out and she's like, what are you doing? And I said, filling out this fact sheet because I need to fax this. And I look at her like, what's your fucking deal, right? And she's like, and it's going to Christus, and she sees that on there, and she gets mad about Christus because Christus is horrible about sending things over local sometimes, hospital. And we have to like bug them. Yeah, local hospital, and we have to bug them for the results from the ER or the procedure or the surgery or whatever. So she gets mad because when she wants it, it's not there because she's that old school doc, and she thinks it should just be in her hands. Like I should just have it. So she says, I can't get stuff when I need it. So, you know, screw them, basically. And she might have said fuck or hell with them. I don't remember. And she's like going off. And I was like, I'm just trying to do my job. And I said, look, Dr. Higginbotham, I think you're taking this farther than you need to. Like, you're getting too upset about this. And I was actually the person trying to just de-escalate it. By the way, later I got chewed out for the whole thing, but not the point. Because I did something wrong. And I said, what did I do wrong? I de-escalated it. At what point did I do something wrong? But anyway, so I had these papers in my hand, and you know how somebody goes to grab something you have, you naturally do that. You know, like, what are you doing? Because I had them both in my hands, so I just did this. And she smacked my arm like 2 or 3 times, like, and yelling at me. And I was like,
okay, Grandma.
I think you're really.
Did you try and steal a cookie from the cookie jar?
That's the only thing I said to her was, I'm just trying to do my job. And that she was taking it too far. I didn't say anything. I wasn't rude, you know, disrespectful, nothing. She's yelling at me in front of her patient. And it's their paperwork. Oh. And they want it sent. What does the patient say? Well, you know, she's right. She doesn't get the stuff when she... And I said, excuse me, ma'am. She is not right. Yes, about that, but that's not what this is about. And she's not right. And I said, but, you know, but thank you. And I just turned around and went back to what I was doing.
Spoiler alert,
and I went ahead and faxed the fucking things. I went and faxed. Yeah, she is. Now we need her though. That's a whole different story.
No, I mean you're still working there.
She walked. Oh, me? Oh yeah. No, they're not gonna fucking fire me. I do too much. They'd be fucking. Even if I wasn't dating the half owner, it wouldn't matter. They would never fire me.
But then why did you throw that?
Wait. You're dating the half owner?
Half.
The
half
what?
Owner.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's half
two
owner.
Women. Yeah, there's 2 women providers. One's a doctor, one's a PA that own the place, and I'm dating the PA.
Wow. Yeah. So you pretty much have jobs. So you pretty much have job security unless you piss her off.
Made yourself
expendable. You know what? I'll be honest with you. When we had a little bump in the road, the one thing that freaked her out was like, "You're not going to quit, are you?" Like she was afraid I was gonna, and I was like, and I know it, and she didn't outright say it, but she kind of hinted around. I said, "Look, I'm not going anywhere. Like it doesn't matter, you know.
I figured. I mean, you know, I figured she'd fire you because she'd get pissed off at you, but apparently,
no, she relies on me too much.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
We rely on each other. It's a win-win. You know, that's just how
you have the job because of what you do and date the owner. You don't have the job.
I didn't start dating her until I had that job for 6 months and I was getting constant compliments from everybody.
Yeah, that's
then I went to her and confessed my love for her. And I won.
You're dating the owner after the job.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, no, I had the job first. And she said, oh my God, you came to me and you told me this stuff. And all I could think was, this can't be right. You know, I'm the boss. And I said, no. It is all right. And she's like, how is that? And I said, because you didn't come on to me. I came on to you. It's not like you came on to me and said, I'll give you a raise. That's illegal. That's not okay. That's when the employee goes to the boss and says, hey, I'm in love with you. And then, you know, so we talked about it and everything. And
okay, well, you're lucky then. There you go.
Oh no, she's amazing. She's fucking amazing. I don't even deserve her.
They're
but
anyways, amazing.
They're
amazing. Both amazing. That's
Fox is making a statement in the
she's
chat,
brilliant,
which is quite funny and from one perspective, and it's yeah, you know, trans man is helping to persist the let's sleep with the boss.
I know. Bad. I'm not trying to be the definition of toxic masculinity, but are you going to smoke, sir?
You know, I keep forgetting you're a trans man.
Thank you.
That's not an insult. That. I'm just saying.
I'm taking it as a compliment. Thank you.
We're hoping to get.
Hey, look! My hair's growing in, guys. Look at that.
I can see stubble.
See that? Look at that.
Either that or you're getting really wrinkly. Which
it looks good. It's actually like really blonde, and it's finally starting to come in dark. Look, this is starting to come in dark finally. So yeah, I'm getting excited. Like one more year and I would have something to brag about.
How often would you shave?
Oh, well, actually, okay. So this, I hadn't shaved at all until almost exactly a month ago. I think this weekend, it's a month ago. I shaved everything because it was all coming in blonde. And I was like, dude, nobody can see this. This is fucking irritating.
Wait, your hair is black. Do you dye your hair?
No. Actually, my hair is just a medium brown. It's not really black.
Then how the hell did you get blonde hair? I'm confused.
I have blonde hair all over my body. I always have. Not my hair's like little, like that long shit like babies have, and then it gets shorter when they get older. Mine never got shorter. Like I've always been fuzzy. I've always had
That
like
is
a higher
so weird.
testosterone level, anyways. So, but anyways, so what?
Yeah, my beard's fucking way more ginger than my hair. My hair would be closer to brown than it would be, like a dirty.
It'll come out different. Yeah, my son's hair is now coming in like Richard's original color, like a dark red.
Ginger.
Yeah, and his beard is a little bit lighter, and you can see it better in his beard. But oh my god, dude, his beard is fucking like you can grab that shit. It's thick. It's really thick.
I really can't.
I'm excited for the future.
I couldn't shave my beard off. Right? I could show you pictures of me with a goatee and show you pictures of me baby faced and stuff like that. Yeah. And it just
I've seen all different pictures of you already.
Yeah, it's just weird looking, right? It's weird looking.
Yeah.
But my beard itself would be very, very wiry. It would need some fucking conditioner or something like that. Like there's beard cream you can get. I don't even use the beard.
Beard balm, beard oil,
no good.
Oh yeah.
No good for this wiry, bushy bastard. I have to go and get, I don't know if you have Dax wax over there. It's a little blue tin.
Yeah.
For short.
Yeah, Dax is old school shit.
Right. Well, that's what I have to use in my fucking beard.
To
get it to sit.
That a lot of guys like the beard wax. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's heavier than beard wax, the point is, if I shaved all this off, it would grow in better. It would grow in more full. It would be softer. I just
absolutely
can't take that step. But with someone who's not now growing the beard, see at the start, shave like a motherfucker, let it grow in half, and then shave it all back off again.
Yeah, so
still be used to your old face.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm so ADHD. I forgot what I was saying. So I was leaving my sideburns in down to my jawline, right? And I was leaving all this, shaving everything underneath from my jawline down, and keeping it all neat and shit. And I was shaving these and just leaving mustache, goatee, and sideburns, right? Yeah. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to shave it all off. And look, I'm telling you, Robbie, it wasn't even this long. It was actually, it was a little longer than this. But I trimmed this. If I didn't trim this, it would already be like this long.
Well, at the start, if you
in
shave
a month,
at the start,
this is the only thing that's growing fast right now. But anyway, so I shaved it all off, and I was standing there like, oh, fuck! I just need to do it. I just need to fucking do it. And I was like, fuck it. I did it now. I have to keep going. So I went in and shaved the whole thing off, and it felt weird. I felt so bare, and my skin felt sensitive, and it's only been a few months of me having any kind of facial hair, and it wasn't
whenever
even
I cut my hair, it took me like 3 months to get used to the wind on the back of my neck. That was super sensitive just there,
right?
Because it was
just
never
like that. Yeah.
If I shave my beard, the only time my beard will get I'll tidy it now as it is, right?
Yeah.
And it's generally got a line to the point where I don't even need to do it in front of a mirror now. Like I've got a hair trimmer, for doing this.
Yeah.
So I just go into the kitchen and I'll do my hair. And I'll just do that with a beard in the kitchen, brush the hairs up, put them in the bin. I don't need a mirror or anything because there's a definitive line because it's long enough. You know?
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, oh, fuck's sake, Elena will kick the door open. You go, boom, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Fuck.
Even this side out, and you go too far, and then you have to even this side out and even this side out. So, like, every 6 months, you'll see me with a really small beard, and then it grows back in again. But it never goes completely away. I couldn't shave it all off.
Right.
What did you do last week, Robbie? On the 17th.
Last thing I was saying
last week on the 17th.
So this all grew in.
What did you get up to last week on Paddy's night? Paddy's Day.
You really don't want to know.
Oh, dude, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
No, Paddy's Day was last week. Sat alone in my living room.
No, I meant today's Tuesday. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, sat alone in my living room, made a wee nest. Put the 2 seats together, pulled a duvet in, lay on a sofa for 2 days. I got nobody really. I don't know. It was St. Paddy's Day, I thought, but anyway, yeah.
There's always next year, mate.
Well, it's grand. It started off as a bad week. It's turned out to be a really good week. So I'm a lot happier now than what I was. I don't know if you heard earlier, Doug, when you were here and I was saying about Elena and the IQ test and stuff like that. So did you hear it? No?
Yeah, 120. Yeah. Brilliant.
So proud of that. That was a good thing. And then, I've just had some other stuff. It's just been a good week. So after that, it got a lot better.
Shit happens. I remember I used to get on the ferry to Dublin. It used to be a £1 return from Liverpool to Dublin. Back in the day, I'm going back 30 odd years now, but I remember we got there one day and the 17th fell on a Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, what a party! What a party!
Man, just go to fucking YouTube and type in Holy Lands, Belfast, St. Patrick's Day. What's known as the Holy Lands is an area of housing estates from maybe the 1920s, 1930s, or whatever, when Belfast, was booming and they're building all these sort of things. But what's happened now, because they're so close to the Queen's University, 5 and 6 people will buy a house. These 3-story places, they've all been converted. They can hold 5 and 6 students. People are making a bomb on it, right? But the problem with that is it's a massive area. It's a lot of students. You've got St. Patrick's Day. Like, they're insane. And it comes to the point where you've got it in the Holy Land. So all the students from Queen's University are there. All the students that live in the student dorms are there. All the students from Jonesboro. It's not Jonesboro. The other University of Ulster. There's a name for it, but University of Ulster. They're all there. It's based in Belfast. So it's now a 4-street wide street party. And then you have people who just want to be there because it's St. Patrick's Day in the Holy Lands. You have people dancing on cars. You have garden fires. And in the midst of all this, you have the old people who have lived there their entire fucking lives. It's an insane. Just go YouTube, go fucking Holy Land, St. Patrick's Day, Belfast. Insane. On the news, everything. Like, out of control, man. Out of control. If you want a St. Patrick's Day party and you're drinking, go to the fucking Holy Lands. But don't, because it's out of control. But that's where you want to be. It's insane. My fucking cousin was going to the Holy Land since he was like 17 on the fucking St. Patrick's Day. Nowhere near you. He'd get on the train and get the train to Belfast to drink in the Holy Lands. It's insane.
See, we don't even celebrate St. George's Day here, but we do celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We always make a night of it.
Cultural build around alcohol.
Well, that's it. That's the devil, isn't it? That's the devil's water. Spirits. Richard will agree with me.
Am I right in saying
the devil's water?
But you see, you have to think about it, right? What is the first day of Lent?
The first day of what? Life?
Lent.
Isn't it? It's a Friday, isn't it?
First day of Lent will generally fall a couple of days after St. Patrick's Day, right?
Oh.
And then in the middle of St. Patrick's Day, you've got some other fucking holiday or something like that, which is like a break. So that in the Irish calendar. So if you look at it, the Irish have got a massive party before Lent where you have to give shit up for fucking 40 days. And then there's a holiday in the middle, maybe 16 days in, where you're allowed to break the rules. And then you're allowed to go on again. We've it all planned out over here. Even when they're religious, they have it all planned out.
Well,
if you drink that much on St. Patrick's Day, you need 2 weeks off the alcohol. Lent is easy. It's not a choice. It's like, I can't look at that bottle. Fuck off.
Yeah, I used to know people that did that. They people I went to high school with and stuff, to the Catholic high school. They were all like, "Well, Lent's coming." They would fucking smoke a bunch of pot and get drunk, and then they were like, "I gotta behave because my parents are watching because of Lent."
St. Patrick's Day, big in the United States, though, isn't it?
It's
what we can adopt any excuse.
Yeah. No, Richard.
Any excuse we can have to party, we are all about it.
I'm gonna add this back onto Richard's channel and sort of the topic and stuff. Richard, the whole story of Lent and Jesus spending 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
Right. From your point of view, that's a topic and a story that we have never discussed, if I can remember.
It is, yeah. Yeah, okay. So the 40 days that he's tried in the desert, the 40 days that he's tempted, the 40 days that he's fasting, it's all the same 40 days. And what that is after the resurrection, after the crucifixion, death, and resurrection, It's the last 40 days that anybody can survive being on the planet. That's what it is. So, he's fasting
hold on.
from.
Just reiterate that for me, because I was too busy taking over your channel and making you full screen. Reiterate that for me. The 40 days in the story is at the very start of Jesus being baptized.
No.
Does he not get
No,
baptized fuck off for 40 days? Straight after the baptismal.
Okay, there's a time assumption there when it's a summary.
Okay, yes, but in the story, as it's chronologically told in the story, there's the baptismal, and after the baptismal ceremony, he goes into the.
Yeah, I know Christians say that. So it's that
Christian.
I know, but that's how you learned the story. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you.
So the story that I know,
yeah,
I would be right in saying that he has the baptismal ceremony, fucks off for 40 days.
Sure.
Right.
It's just not. They're not in chronological order. That's a summary.
It's a summary. So what you're saying is, if we were watching a video of this or an episode of this, it would say time skip.
Yeah, it would say
It would come up at the bottom.
Something there
5 years later, 6 years later,
something like that, right? Yeah. However long it is.
Yeah.
He meets John and gets baptized when he immediately after meeting John. Okay.
No, I think in the night. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is where we need a Christian sometimes, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. Is John that family and they knew each other at a young age and he didn't get baptized until he was at an older age? I'm pretty sure that him and John were related, cousins.
They didn't know each other as children at all.
Are you sure?
But they're cousins.
So they are cousins, but they didn't know each other.
Yes, but unfortunately, it's not literal cousins.
I know.
It's spiritual cousins.
Yeah, doesn't matter. If you were first cousins with somebody, if your mother was my sister, you'd know each other just because you'd live close to each other, you'd hang out, you'd help each other.
Yeah, they didn't get to know. There's nothing about them getting to know each other.
Yeah, so when you say cousins, whether it's spiritual or not, in the context now of society, I would know them. So that's probably where that come from. But I'm definitely asking
that is where it came from, right?
So I'm asking you definitively.
Yeah.
They were cousins, regardless of what way, but they did not know each other as children.
Okay, so here's how I see it chronologically.
Max laughing at me. I'm going to slap your face. I'm asking good questions.
Those are good questions.
No. I was laughing at Ox. That's my buddy.
Ox is hilarious. Yeah.
Ox is always in my chats. He's one of my best mods. Like, he's on top of shit. He does all my links and shit. He's great. And so he was just saying, grow a goatee to a point and it's a taint tickler. Because I'm sorry, brother. And then he said, it'll save your goatee, it'll save your chin from thigh rash. And I just had to laugh at it. I'm sorry.
Knox
heard funny. I didn't see the comments a couple minutes ago.
Knox heard the same stories as me. Knox along the same lines as me. Family, knowing each other because they were cousins and stuff.
Yeah, everyone's heard that story.
Yeah, it's an assumption that's made.
It's not like it's here in Norfolk where
I'll tell you this.
Your father's your brother and your sister's your mother sort of family.
Not one of us here are scholars that can
tighten that shit, bro.
So we'll move on.
Somehow I can't link in the chat. Would you do that, please, sir?
That's weird.
I don't understand what's going on, but I can't. I wanted to put a link in there.
Robbie took control totally.
No, Richard. Right, StreamYard.
No, it's something wrong with my computer connection or something. It's not. It's not something Rob did.
You want the StreamYard's link in the chat?
Would you please?
Right.
Just in case Rage. I'm not saying he has to. I'm not leveraging my friendship, but if he wants to come in, he should be able to.
I'm levering my friendship. Get in here. Come on.
So
he's like, I'm an asshole. I'll do it. Get your ass in here.
I have big shoulders.
Here's how I understand it chronologically.
Right. Okay. As you understand it, we should be watching it, and there would be 5 years later in the.
There would be something like that. It wouldn't be 5 years, but that's okay.
Years later.
X years later. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, all right. So, Mary and Elizabeth have like purpose.
Elizabeth being John's mother.
Yeah. Yes.
Just for clarification.
And they visit each other, and one's good and pregnant, and the other one's not really pregnant, kind of a little bit pregnant.
I thought they were both pregnant at the same. Yes, that's a story. Yes,
yeah, it overlaps. So John and Jesus close to the same age is what it's saying.
But John's older.
But John is older, right? Okay.
By no more than a year. By no more than a year.
And then Jesus disappears. Nothing about him at all. And then later it talks about him being grown by the Father, which means he didn't know he was Jesus. So he probably did normal dude stuff. Had sexual relationships. Probably, cheated. Probably
made
lied.
Moonshine.
Gambled. Stole some shit. Right.
Probably because he was just normal stuff.
Right.
Because he don't know that. He don't know who he doesn't understand the responsibility he's going to assume later.
Right, just to very quickly interject, have you read the Gospel of, is it Judah or something? Or there's another one? You don't even have, Richard, because I started this, now you don't even have to. It'll auto-add everybody.
I noticed. I corrected myself. Thank you.
There is stories of, I think Drew. Who's Drew? Drew, the guy.
Andrew.
No, there's a channel. His name is Drew. I can never remember the name of the channel.
Drew Costin.
Book review, Drew?
No.
Costin. Costin.
No, hangs around with Holy Kool-Aid. I think actually lives with Holy Kool-Aid. That sort of group.
That Drew. I don't know that dude's name yet. Yeah.
Yes. He did a review. I think it may have been the Gospel of Judas or whatever it was, and it talked about Jesus as a child.
Right.
Trying to deal.
I still can't get over Jesus turning water into moonshine.
Well, no, but he did kill a little boy for fucking fighting with him and a lot of other people, and then brought them back to life.
Okay,
again.
here's the
actually, Anne Rice wrote a book.
Your gain is really high.
Is it? Let me put it. I don't have my cover on because I washed it. But Anne Rice wrote a book, and I'm not sure where she got her information from. But I've been told by several Christians that her information is actually accurate. Some Greek philosopher that supposedly Joseph took Jesus to study under during their exile. But yeah, to what MathPig is saying, supposedly Jesus accidentally killed a boy and then brought the boy back to life as a child.
Yeah,
so
and also a dove, I believe.
Yeah, well, he made birds out of clay, and they flew away. And he accidentally shoved a friend of his, or purposefully, it's hard to tell from that story, off of a rooftop. The kid dies. He brings him back to life.
Later on in the story, like everybody was angry at him, and then I think he kills other people, and then everybody got really pissed. So he brought them all back together again.
The problem is it doesn't match any story anywhere else.
Of course not. That's why it wasn't in the canon.
It's standing alone. That's right. That's why they didn't include it, because they were like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah. And that actually is a good way to judge something. If it's a one-off, you shouldn't have it. And
definitely.
It definitely argues with parts of the Bible where Jesus is in like a learning process, learning the 7 spirits of God and coming into power. If he was born that way and just was natural since he was a kid, there'd be no growth. I
can't even remember who it was I was talking about, and something had happened once, and then it happened the second time when we were talking about it, and we both agreed that we've only got 2 data points. We need to give it another one. You can't make a statement until you have at least 3 data points.
Well, let me add another third one. Jesus is the first begotten of the dead. Now, when you're born, you're not dead, or else you're not alive. Okay?
I could be born a vampire.
So you don't exist until you're born, until you're pregnant and born, right? And then you're born and you're not dead. But it reads he's the first begotten of the dead. That's because the dead is a phrase meaning non-believers. He's born a non-believer.
Yeah, I've read
directly
that before.
says that.
Yeah. I've definitely read that before, like back, especially during the time of the first few generations of Christians, that if you didn't believe in Jesus, then they considered you dead.
Right. That was a common phrase for the time. Right. That's exactly correct. So Jesus being born out of the group that are the dead he was a non-believer. Simple as that. So he can't have had these magic powers and not think something was up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought, if the story was true, then Anne Rice's book kind of made more sense to me. Like, you know, like I don't think like he understood what he was or he understood how to work his powers, but you would think like during that period something would be coming out even if he didn't mean it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like something inside of him, that specialness that made him Jesus, that would eventually come out in adulthood. That, you know, I would think, you know, like logic to me would say, yeah, I mean, if this story is true, then if that person really existed and he was this God person, then something was probably seeping out, despite him like, lack of control or whatever, you know.
Like if your kid scores 20% above the rest of the kids in their class on an IQ test, there's something up.
If my kid, I'm not that smart. She can't be either.
No,
my kid is really smart.
He's making a wee thing because they actually did test Elena's class.
I want you to
last
brag
week.
on her. Yeah.
I'm typing in the live chat trying to give Ox some fucking troll shit and wind him up, and you're here doing that. But yeah, they tested Elena's class last week, and she came out top of her year at 120 IQ, and the next person down was 100.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Which means she's literally 1/5 or 20% score better than all the rest of the kids.
For some reason, my picture ain't showing, so I'm going to see if that's going to show my picture on the screen.
So, yeah, I was quite chuffed about that.
Yeah, my kid, she's top of her class, and I never was. I made just good enough grades to play football.
I did the same thing, Knock. That's what I did. I made sure I had a C or above, just so I could play basketball and volleyball and softball. That's all I cared about. Yeah, hell yeah. I didn't care about the rest. I didn't care about school.
I had life issues and fucking autism that nobody knows.
Let me finish that quick synopsis for you, Rob. So
yeah,
he grows up, he meets John, and John is part of his introduction into who he is.
Yes.
And John's been announcing him, but he's been announcing him out in the wilderness.
Right. Well, what I want to ask you, this is the question. What is John? Now, I know you're saying they're cousins spiritually.
Dude.
They're cousins spiritually, right?
Yeah.
So John is preaching the word of the new Jesus on your planet, right? We're going to call him Jesus 23, right?
Yeah.
Giving everything names, it just makes everything easier for me. Adam, previous Jesus is
it would be
Jesus
24, but yeah, okay.
Okay, Jesus 24, right?
You brought it up.
Fucking backs and stitches. I feel like slapping him too.
Right? Look, when he said 23, I was like, 1, 2, 3, and there it is.
I've been saying 23 for that long, but 23 is like a Jim Carrey movie. It's a thing. 23 is more of a cultural number that would stick. But anyway, regardless. So Jesus 24, I'm still going to call him 23 just to wind you up. Jesus 23, right? What is his physical, biological connection to John? Is John, now obviously he's a descendant from all these fuckers he's made as
That's
much
it.
as
That's it. You can stop right there. That's the only connection.
Right. So when they say he's cousins, it's how does he get this information then? If he's not family and doesn't have the same genetic line where he is even slightly in tune. Because
he went out of the woods and prayed to God for like years. Like he meant it.
Right. He's only 1 year older than Jesus 23.
He's older. You can't tell how much older, really.
Well, if both their parents
Marty.
If both their parents are talking and both their parents are pregnant at the same time, there can be no more than 1 year between them.
I understand that mechanically how that would work. In fact, it can't be a year. It has to be less than 9 months.
Yeah, I'm being generous when I say that. You know.
There can be more like 6 months apart, actually.
One could, I'm being generous at a year. Yeah. They can be no more than a year apart, right?
Yeah. Right. If it meant it mechanically, they'd have to be about.
Now you're being pedantic and going off the point, right? What was Jesus doing while John was in the fucking forest doing his whole fucking under the stars orgy thing? What was he doing? What was
whacking
Jesus
his pud? I don't know.
As far as I know, he was being an apprentice to Joseph still.
In the carpentry business.
There's nothing about him being religious at that point, before that point.
Yeah, he would have been working in his father's business, which his father would have been considered Joseph. And becoming a man, you have
a few stages in the olden days where, you know, they make a ceremony out of it. Over here, you're 18, your ma lets you go to the pub. You know,
Yeah,
that's your fucking ceremony. But
Mm.
back, they made bigger things out of it. So is 30 the year that Jesus pops back into the Bible
nothing
and all
in the
that?
text about that.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. Like your position,
not in-
Richard, is that they're not cousins, right?
They're not actual cousins; they're
All right.
spiritual cousins. Like they got a
Yeah.
job. They got similar
Yeah.
jobs.
So, and you're not the only Christian that says that. Now, most Christians will say that because they pointed it out in the side chat. You know, it does talk about Elizabeth and Mary, but it talks about so many different Elizabeths and so many different Marys that it's really hard to differentiate who they're talking about when. So that's why I always kind of, you know, I always say, you know, it's assumed often that they were actually cousins, but we don't really know if they were actually cousins.
Right.
Right.
But
So
there
we're both
is
right.
one of them in both cases of John and Jesus. One of their parents is a direct descendant of David. Like it's
So
a
this-
bloodline thing.
Right.
Yeah,
And
So
that's,
with
this is what I-
Jesus,
that may not be literal, but it's trying to say they were intended to be. They were predestined to be what they are. Something
So
like
this
that.
is what I was
Well-
asking you when I said about the whole, are that, you know, genetically come from the same person. Jesus is obviously genetically set. Jesus isn't
Yeah.
just some guy that they can pick. His genes, he is important in his genealogy. Yes.
Yeah, he's got to be an exact duplicate of the Father.
Yeah, and this is where I have a lot of conflict with Christians, because according to the Bible, now Christians will say that there's a genealogy in the Bible that indicates that Mary was a direct descendant of King David. But the Bible doesn't really say that. You really have to you have to pick and choose to try to get there, and then kind of make some stuff up to go along with it. What the Bible says is that descendancy, when it comes to Jesus, comes through Joseph, which creates a problem with the Immaculate Conception.
Yeah, that's why they ignore it, because it does come through Joseph, and that's fine. It's not an actual problem because people are born in very natural ways all the time.
And he would have been raised as Joseph's son, considered his first son, regardless.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a stretch what Christians say. Oh, because they're cousins, she must be of that bloodline. I'm like, do you not understand that cousins are sometimes by marriage? Come on, man.
Well, yeah, and the way they link it, it's like this specific person that, like, you can't even really, in the genealogy, you can't even really link this person to Mary. You have to really stretch the imagination to get there.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. But I mean, you're one of the more critical people that has less prejudice when you read it somehow. Like you're more interested in what the hell does it say, not what the hell do people say about it. And congratulations on that. I think I'm the same way. I think I'm just trying to be honest, you know?
Yeah, well, I've always read it like just a normal book, and you know, I understand. You know, but I don't do very many hermeneutics or exegesis on it. I read it from beginning to end, especially the story of Jesus. I think, you know, when it comes to the Gospels, the emphasis of the New Testament should be put on the Gospels, and then what comes after, take it as a grain of salt. But when it comes to the life of Jesus, I think you should read it beginning to end. It's really hard to do so because it, like you guys were pointing out, they don't really talk too much about his early days. But whatever you can glean from it, you should.
That reminds me. Let me finish off that story. Okay, so Jesus doesn't know he's Jesus, right? And then he starts traveling. He runs into John, who's coming into town for the first time in who knows how long. He'd been a wild man out there, you know, eating locust and honey and crap, you know. So away from town for real, right? And they meet and they're like, wait a minute, aren't you? And the other one's like, yeah, wait a minute, aren't you? And they're like, cool, bro. Something like that, right? So they do the anointing thing because, you know, it's best to fulfill the prophecy as you can. You know, it's the right thing to do. So they do that. But they both understand who's the real dude and who ain't. They both got that, you know? So the problem comes between them when John starts to think that he is the prophecy of the Christ. And he goes schizo. He loses his mind. So that's how he becomes imprisoned, is he loses his freaking mind. He goes crazy. So Jesus is like, sorry for your bad luck, bro, but Satan got you, and I'll catch you on the flip side when you're better. and he splits. Then he starts doing the white horseman thing, where he's not making war between men yet, but he's out there being, the conqueror, and he's conquering, but he's going to conquer later. So goes forward conquering and to conquer. So like 2 different times. And then the end times start, and he's well ready for it, I guess. And then he becomes what they call the Red Horseman, where he actually like goes and makes active problems. And you know the story of him making problems. He pokes the leadership in the ribs, runs away. Poke him in the rib, run away. Poke and stay so they kill him. So that's pretty much the chronology.
I thought tonight's show was sponsored by
I like the
Domino's.
summary. It's great. My ADHD didn't go too far astray on it. Thank you.
Oh, good for you.
I totally lost
actually heard all of that.
I lost complete track, and I looked at the chat, and we're sponsored by Lipton George's Peach Sweet Tea.
Tonight's
Great.
show is sponsored by
Where's the check?
Lipton Georgia Peach Sweet
Yeah,
Tea.
where's the
Brewed
fucking
fresh
my movie check?
for your delight.
Fucking Richard promised me Domino's. It's Tuesday, 2 for Tuesdays. Richard promised me 2 pizzas. What the fuck, like? How have you been, Knock?
I like the next one that Raw did.
Yeah, you're
I guess I
muted.
should unmute. I'm pretty good. I'm tired. I'm not going to be on here too long. I need to go to bed. But
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
3 a.m. here. I'll be going to bed very soon too.
That's not even 9. I'm good.
Appreciate you dropping by either way, Knock.
oh yeah. I mean, I saw you guys were live. I'm like, sweet. I got something to watch, and then you're actually talking about,
Oh, hold on now.
my
You know what
stuff.
that just,
Your shit,
that-
yeah.
you know what
right.
that just proves? That proves that he's not getting alerts from me, or he's not subbed to me. So
Well, no, I'm
Right.
subbed to you. I think.
Ooh,
No,
classic.
a lot
Thank
of
you,
times,
Richard. Thanks, Richard.
a lot of
Thanks,
times, I notice like you stream while I'm working. It should change up because I should be going to first shift with this new job, but I'm still on second shift. So oftentimes when you're streaming, I'm at work.
Come over.
Yeah,
on
that's the
Tuesday.
problem I have, Knock. I get off at like 5 my time. He'll stream to like 2 to 4. And I just,
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
11 p.m. when I start streaming. I can't really start streaming any later, or it's literally
I
the next
know,
day,
bro.
Yeah.
I know. I get it.
Yeah,
It
time
just
zones
doesn't
suck.
work.
You know, we're getting rid of
I've got
daylight
that
savings
sultry
time.
voice
Here,
when you're sitting eating your pork chops and spuds, and I'm just on in the background just going, hey, it's math pig time, you know?
You fucking stupid.
I
love you.
I'm just going to...
He kicked himself.
For that one. My hands were right here. I didn't do it.
Nah, yeah, Richard, of course. Of course. Yeah. You don't have a jack pad
Keep your
over
hands
there.
visible at all times.
Watch carefully as my hands never leave the ends of my arms.
Still there, aren't they? Told you.
That's right.
Right.
Oh no, Atheist Maximus, that'll never happen. Ever.
No.
Oh,
And-
God, no.
In fact, I would not encourage anyone to become a Christian under any church anywhere.
Yeah, don't. Christians are
Don't do
horrible.
that.
No.
They say
Yeah.
ridiculous things that can't be true in reality. They're extremely prejudiced and self-righteous. I mean, it's just horrible.
Your
True.
only 3 days, Richard, is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yes?
Usually, yeah.
Usually, right. Me mother's thinking of my mother's agreed to do an interview, but I want Dave
Oh,
to be
nice.
involved. So and at the minute Dave's not feeling great. So whenever Dave
Sorry to
gets a
hear
wee
that.
bit better, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because that would be interesting for you and my mother to have a conversation, because she would consider herself a Christian, even
Yeah.
though she is also of the statement, why go to church? God's everywhere. You know, and just
She's
like
got a point there.
Well, I always thought that
I've heard-
religion was a personal thing anyway.
yeah, and like I've hammered stuff down with my mum to the point where she's just went, you need to just like, we're gonna end this, and just turns and fucks off and makes dinner or something like that, you know, and like prayed for somebody when they're sick. And I'm like, well, why did you pray for them? Well, they're sick. And I was like, well, if you were physically right beside them, what would you do? She was like, I'd probably go and look after them. I was like, yeah, you're praying because you're limited in what you can do. When you pray for that person to be better, that
You
relieves the
feel like
stress.
you did something.
Mm-hmm.
I said it's more for you than the person, and you know, and
Yeah,
she was like,
absolutely.
I'm just gonna go and make your dad.
I got a
better."
better question for you than that. If God put us here when he could have put us in heaven, which is perfect, and we'd suffer zero, Why not just put us in heaven? He must want us to suffer. If he wants us to
really
suffer,
want
why
my
would
mad
he
to
fix-
dislike you, don't you?
why
really
would he
wanna-
fix the suffering if he wants you to suffer?
Work your way up to this, Richard. Don't jump in with slag.
No, sorry, that's the softest I got.
I don't like that. Richard.
Yeah, so I guess by that narrative, then there would have to be a purpose to that, right? So I guess
Exactly.
I guess then we're like intended to fight his war against the devil in the afterlife. So I guess Earth would be his Arrakis if you've
Training
ever read
grounds.
Dune.
That's right. This is kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's actually not. Richard told me that a long time ago. So yeah,
That's a pretty
exactly
interesting
what
idea.
how he sees it. Yeah,
I-
you know,
I
that's the
really-
thing that kills me
I
about
think-
it is,
So
I mean,
you're
I
saying
agree with-
atheists and not potty trained.
huh?
Hey,
Atheists,
I
not
think
none of
that
us
can
are potty
actually-
trained yet. None of us.
I think
I
that
do
can
all
be
by myself.
biblical.
It is biblical.
You could read. You could derive that straight from the text of the Bible.
That's
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
point.
I read it as an atheist. You understand?
Yeah,
You can tell the anger in your voice.
I am kind of pissed off at. I tell you what, dog. First thing I did, like the first 2 weeks, I went around to every church I could find, and I talked to their preacher. They're not priests, by the way. I talked to their preachers, and I stuck my finger in their face metaphorically, and I said, "Why don't you tell people the truth?" And they're like, "I got no clue what the hell you're talking about." It was just like that.
I went
around to all of them. I was pissed.
I
This
got
is how I've always seen religion. I've always seen it as it's a personal thing. Anyway, it's interpreted the Bible in so many ways that no one knows. I mean, the only true definition is what you see in it.
Have you ever heard my intended reader argument, dog?
No, but I was going to finish up with the people who
Okay.
use it as a business and make lots of money of it. They manipulate it. They
course.
don't interpret it. They manipulate it
Of course.
because for money, and that's all it is. It's a
Sure.
business to
That's
the
what governance is manipulation of the masses. That's what it
prosperity
is.
gospel is just awful.
But to be honest, Richard, I haven't got round to. As Robbie mentioned earlier, I haven't been around for a while. I've been healthy enough to go back to work, and it's been started off with one day, and now I'm back at work full time. I'm still working from home, so I don't have to travel. So
I remember you
the
mentioning
best
you
part
were
of
well.
work
I'm
is-
sorry.
so I haven't got much time to catch up.
Right.
So I'm sort of playing it by ear. But if you post a link, I will watch it, mate. I promise, because it's always a pleasure
Okay.
listening to
You as
to
well.
you. I'm being online with you. I've always enjoyed our chats. But
It's crazy, but he's
obviously,
a nice
I
guy.
will catch up in the end. And Robbie's just always on a ridiculous time, and I'm sucking my thumb in bed.
See, that's
normally.
the fucking thing. UK people, it's too late, and fucking. It's
Well,
too, like,
not never used to be.
I'm
when
getting a
I was,
boat. I'm
when
gonna
I
get
was
a boat.
bidden.
And I'm moving to the middle of the Pacific. Is there a fucking island in the middle of the Pacific with Wi-Fi? I'll move there. It'll be perfect for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, back to the point, because
I'm trying,
Robbie had
I
mentioned.
couldn't sleep tonight, so I'm back.
Dog. I'm
Go on,
only
carry.
dogging
I'm
you.
just
What were you saying, Knock?
dogging means a total different thing over here, mate. You know that.
Huh?
Dogger means a total different thing over there. Well, God is the ultimate dogger, isn't he? Really?
I don't know how you went from us talking this to dogging, because I do know what dogging means in the UK. You dirty, dirty, dirty.
You said you were
boy.
dogging me.
Oh no, and no. Okay, right. Slang and term. Okay, different. I'm not deaf. No, right. I'm going to change the topic from.
So what was that you were trying to say, Knock? What was that, Knock?
That's a good way to make all the guys
dogging.
on the panel uncomfortable. We're all like, no.
Now I'm interested in knowing what it means. Like over here, if I'm dogging you, I'm like talking shit to you. You know.
Over there,
That's
it's
Right now,
it's
you see, this is the
making
thing.
subtle sexual advances.
The fact that my audience is 83% fucking American, and I hang around with a lot of Americans, I would use their slang so they understand me,
Yeah.
So when I say I'm dogging you, that's for my American audience and all the people watching. They
Giving you
understand.
shit.
However,
Right, giving you shit, right? Dogging in the UK is when you go to a car park where a lot of other people go to a car park, very late at night, out in the middle of nowhere, and there's people having sex in a car, and a group of guys all sit around wanking, watching through the windows, or there's a girl jumps out and gets involved with like 20 people all in the middle of the forest type of city. See Knock's face. Yeah.
No, we have parking here, but that's like a solo thing. You and your girl, and you hope a serial killer don't come and kill you if you've ever
seen if you're a middle-aged,
why you're right, like in the middle of
if you're a middle-aged, unattractive, very low self-esteem sort of person, what you do for dating is dogging. You go on a Friday night to a car park in the middle of nowhere, and and
just wank it. Oh wow.
Okay,
Hey,
I didn't
you watch
think it was
other
that
people
bad.
Live porn. I mean, that's
so
awesome.
you see, we're fucking dogs taking this. We're not going there. That's not Richard's channel. That's Dave's channel.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Go to Dave's channel for that. Everybody go to Dave's.
Dogging me.
Yes.
Yeah, that was American dogging, not UK dogging.
I know the difference now.
By the way, Robbie, I just want to throw out there the term dogging, like I'm just dogging on you. That is really old. Stop using it. We don't use that anymore.
Oh, stop being such a square.
No, I'm just being honest.
You stop being old, Robbie.
That shit's like, that's like 15 years old, bro.
Yeah, that's like 90s. That was my vernacular.
What the hell did you just hear about Elvis? What the hell's going on?
My humor is just whoosh. My humor is just whoosh.
You gotta keep up, man.
By the way, Michael Jackson out of style. I'm just saying.
What? Since
Michael Jackson, I know it's shocking.
Too soon?
Michael Jackson is out of style now in the U.S. I just want to say.
Okay.
It finally happened?
No, if you didn't know that, Rob, I'm just saying it was a couple years ago.
Thanks for just ruining
anytime,
it.
bro. So Knock, what was the thought? Do you still have the thought, Knock?
Well, I was going to take it back because Robbie had mentioned something about prosperity preachers being shit, and I totally agree. But it's also like just the normal preachers. A lot of times, I have an uncle that's a preacher in the Wesleyan Church, and dude makes bank. He lives a very, very comfortable life, while a good chunk of his congregation don't. And to me, it's like, it seems to me like if you really believed in the Jesus gospel, as you said you did, then you could take some of that comfort and donate it back to your parishioners instead of being so insistent on getting that tithe. But a lot of times these preachers don't. And yeah, like I said, a lot of preachers, you have some poor preachers but they're poor intentionally. Usually you're going to bank pretty good if you're a preacher in the United States.
Yeah. As long as you're in the right area, as long as the population is big enough.
Yeah,
really is what it is, and you get enough parishioners in the door.
You missed the other, Beck. You missed one qualifier. As long as you only speak about how they can be great.
Steve Martin.
Don't say negative things.
Steve Martin did a fantastic movie. I can't remember what it was called or back in the 80s.
Man with Two Brains.
Where he ran around and he was a pretend medical healer.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
Or not medical healer, spiritual healer.
Spiritual healer.
Faith healer, that was it.
Yeah, he was a faith healer, and it was totally.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, we're all of that age. Come on, dog. It might actually be.
I don't think I ever
Steve
saw
Martin
that
was
movie.
one of my favorites when I was growing up.
Oh fuck
Roxanne was like the shit. Roxanne was the bomb.
Steve Martin was he's just great. Still, whatever he does, it's fucking awesome. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't.
And if you haven't seen,
I remember the movie with the faith healer, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Planes,
scenes
Trains, and Automobiles,
guilty
shame on you. Shame on you.
Has anybody ever watched? Oh, now I forgot the person's name, but it was right. We know Eddie Murphy. The person Eddie Murphy said that his humor was based on. Guy for like See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Did a movie.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Right?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever seen Richard Pryor's very, very, very first live ever?
I don't think so.
On YouTube, it's not great quality, and it's to an entirely white crowd. And he does not give a fuck.
Yeah, he never gave a fuck. That's what I like.
And they loved him.
He's like calling the fucking audience crackers and shit. It's
and they're all laughing, aren't they?
Loving it. Absolutely loving it.
But if he did that shit on the street,
fucking stopped.
Oh God!
Back then, yeah.
White privilege would freak out, man.
Titan looked it up. It's called Leap of Faith.
Oh crap!
Yeah, Leap of Faith. Yeah.
You know, if somebody calls me a cracker, you know what I do? Because usually, it's somebody joking around with me. They'll say, "Call me a cracker." I say, "No, bitch. No, bitch. I'm white rice."
Richard's
Worse than it's
panicking
a
like fuck.
cracker. I'm white
Richard's
rice.
panicking like fuck in the
Get it
live
right.
chat to get in there before Titan, even though he's lost.
He beat me.
So he's
Can you believe
posted
that?
the Google search rather than the link twice. Then he's panicked, and then he's posted the Google search again, and he still hasn't posted the actual name of the fucking movie.
I'm not a good loser. I'm not.
That's fucking not working.
Hey, Mac, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Fucking Mac's great too. He hops into my stuff after you guys are done talking. Usually,
Mac.
Okay, we're gonna have to start wrapping this up because responsibilities and adults and all that crap.
what?
I was heading in 6 minutes.
Fine.
Think about wrapping it up. That's all.
All right, Dad. I'll go to bed.
Some of
That
us
film
have
is called Leap of
responsibility.
Faith, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I'm probably going to go and watch Leap of Faith now. Good movie.
Really? I've never seen it.
Well, I've been
Maybe I should go
stinting.
watch.
I've been stinting Stargate SG-1 this last week. I'm up to series 5. I've watched it a million times. I'm trying now that I've downloaded it, I've got the names here while I'm watching it. So I'm going to learn the name titles as well as just the preference and all the rest because I I know it. It's been very funny because I've been watching it and saying the lines before them happen and laughing to myself because I've watched it that fucking much. But anyway, I need to change.
I don't think I ever watched that show.
Never.
Never. I think I've seen a movie back in the day, but I don't think I ever watched a TV show.
I guarantee you now, man, if you go to YouTube and you type in random Stargate SG-1 scene, I will tell you what series, what's happening, and what's going on. All in 10 seconds. 10 seconds, man.
And you know how many times I've watched any SG anything total? About 5 or 6 times. I've seen 5 or 6 episodes.
Walt was like that when our next eldest brother was like that. It would remember where things were in a story and all that. It was pretty crazy.
You see, I don't. My brain doesn't work
Rain
like that.
Man.
When it comes to
I can't remember the episodes, names of bands. Don't ask me. Name of the song. I might know if the chorus sounds similar. But I can't keep track of that shit. I don't know why.
Series 7, the last 2 episodes.
I don't care.
Literally, if you muted the fucker, I could actually play the part of every single person in the fucking show. If you muted the last 2 episodes, that's 90 minutes. I have watched that so many times. It was actually made to be a movie, but they didn't think because it's it's a TV show, and they were like, end of the series, it's really big, and they were going to do a release of a movie to try and boost the franchise, but then they decided not to and make it a double series ender, and it's just there was so much money thrown at it. You're watching a TV series, and then all of a sudden, someone give them $100,000. The best they'd had was one spaceship that can hold 2 people flying through a scene, and now they've got a space battle of 50 ships above Antarctica. Someone just handed them a blank check. It was, mute that show. I'll do everybody's part. Everybody's. It's
shit.
Brilliant.
Everyone's got a big Irish
Marty.
accent. Even the women.
Marty. Hey, Jill, I'm a woman.
Jill's
Isn't
funny.
it the same as saying, please don't talk to me?
Evening triggered as Lord.
Jill's funny when I quit YouTube, which even when I quit, I was like, I probably won't quit.
I love how you're saying quit YouTube while you're on YouTube right now.
I did quit. It lasted about 2 weeks.
Don't point that stuff out.
It lasted about 2 weeks. But Jill came in my comment and he was like, Jesus approves. And I'm like, well, fuck, if Jesus approves, I got to disappoint him. I can't let him approve.
Oh man, you see, I hang around with Richard that much. I'm in the mind if Jesus popped around, I'm going, hey boy, do you know I know fucking Richard? These aliens are ripping my family apart. Can I get moved to the head of the queue?
I'm not sure it'll help you, but sure, why not?
Come on, man. You've got a direct line. You said earlier that you could just ring him and talk to them.
I said to Richard,
it's not under my control. I have to say it's not under my control, though. I'm dealing with an intelligent who has their own consciousness, and they have their own will.
Ah, now I understand. You're leaving a message on his answer machine, and he'll get back to you when he can.
Maybe.
What was the whole metaphor on the?
I'm dogging you, Richard. I'm just dogging you.
That was all
No, you're
metaphor
not.
on the film The Life of Brian with the Tower of Babel.
I watched the Life of
Yeah,
Brian.
the
I love that
metaphor of the
movie.
life of Brian, Tower of Babel. Yeah. What about
Where
it?
he was chased up there and the aliens picked him up as he fell off that part. But no one ever gets that. That's the reference to.
It's
pretty good.
I actually watched that less than a week ago, man. I
I've
really
never
enjoyed
seen
Life
it.
of Brian.
I've never watched it through.
Oh,
On a
it's so
Saturday
good.
afternoon about tea time, Robbie.
Pardon?
On a
Hey,
Saturday
Kat.
afternoon about tea time, did you watch it?
I might actually have watched it while it was work, just in my headphones, and watched it in my head, because I've watched it that much. Sometimes when I'm at work, rather than listen to a podcast or something, I'd put a movie on. And when you've watched a movie that much, you don't need to physically watch it. You can hear what's happening, and you remember
know in your head what's going on in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Before we close this out, I wonder if you guys, like one at a time, whoever wants to go first, could help me explain something that I think is fundamental and Jill doesn't seem to see. Maybe one of you can find a different way of explaining why everything that he understands, he's understanding through his own bias.
Trigger's Lord is a troll. Trigger's Lord is also my favorite troll. I have a small place in my heart for Jill. He was the first troll. I'll always.
It's very small, but it's there.
Very small, but you know, it's there. But yeah, he's a triggered motherfucker that won't talk to women. And
but if someone could just explain why none of us can be objective.
No, it wouldn't matter if you could look inside that particular person's brain, figure out the exact way to communicate your point to them, their personality, regardless of their understanding, would still tell you you're a heretic, you're a dick, and you're a liar, because that's who they are.
This is how I see it. Here's my opinion on it. But
that's why they're fun.
Opinions. We all have opinions on things, right? Just pick a topic. We all have opinions on religion, what kind of cars are the coolest, what kind of motorcycle you ride. We all have opinions. So as soon as you have an opinion on something, you're automatically going to be biased.
Yes, but you can be objective.
That's just how it is. No, you can be. You can be, but it's an extra step. And it's really hard for people, especially people who grew up like in Christianity or I don't know, pick a religion. I don't really care.
But you see, the thing about it is
they grow up in this and it's instilled in them. You know what it's like? This is how instilled it is. Okay. Our father was a prejudiced motherfucker.
True.
And he said all kinds of horrible things. And I got older and it's like it replayed through my head because somebody said something that sounded like it or reminded me of it. And something I hadn't heard in 40 fucking years. I was a little kid, 5, 6, 7 years old. And I heard him say this shit. And because he was out of the house by the time I was 8. So it was all before I was 8 years old. And I could hear that shit come back, that racism in my head. And I'd go, oh my God, Dad used to say that. Yep. Why did that go through my head? And then I hate myself because it was a thought, but it was not like a thought like I voiced it in my head. It was like it was replayed of him saying it, but it was just my words, my voice. You know what I mean? That's really what I actually talked to
myself. Don't feel bad.
I talked to my therapist about it today that, you know, and he's like, that voice in your head is you saying that shit to you. It's not you saying it. It sounds like your voice. It's someone else has said that to you in your past and you're replaying it and you're using it to beat yourself up.
It goes to your
oh, that's interesting. But that's how it plays back in your own voice. And then you think it's like you're dogging yourself out. You're giving yourself shit.
Now I didn't make that mistake. I knew it was Dad, and I knew it was full of crap. Mm-hmm. But when the situation that he was talking about came up or something similar to it, I would remember that he used to say that crap.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not.
Maybe when I was a kid, I believed him too. Maybe
because I never believed him because I would look at Dad and look at Mom, and Mom was like, this black family moved into town, and it was all just white rednecks where we lived. I mean, that's just all you had. Just a bunch, actually not even rednecks. They were just a bunch of hillbillies, like good people just working their farms and trying to fucking pay their bills. They weren't horrible people, so I can't call them rednecks because that's usually how that's defined. The stigma.
So hold on, just to clarify for a person in the UK, the difference between a redneck and a hillbilly is one of them's nicer than the other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Rednecks are usually stigmatized as assholes. Hillbillies are more innocent, kind people. Correct.
Is it not still a white trash slur? regardless
really.
of
It can be, but most
Yeah.
people that are
Well,
hillbillies
it
will
depends
go,
on-
"Fuck yeah, I am."
It depends on where you're
They
at and
don't
how
care.
you're using it. Like down in North Carolina, hillbillies were actually people that lived in the hills of North Carolina, and they
Right.
were often inbred, and
yeah,
like
you say hillbilly to me in
Yeah.
the UK, I'm thinking the hills have eyes, but the hills have only 2 of them, not like normal people.
But other people use hillbilly differently than that. Most
that's-
people don't have real hillbillies.
That's why I'm asking for clarification.
I think a hillbilly might be illiterate. Maybe they have to have someone sign for them, but they'll come help you plow your field.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. And if your car's broke down the side of the road and ends up being a party, you have like 3 or 4 guys that'll stop in a pickup truck and start pulling tools out and taping
blunt
shit
force.
and duct taping, and they'll try to get you home, goddammit.
They might
And they'll
fix
drink
stuff
some
that
beer
wasn't
while
the
they're
problem.
doing it.
They might fix stuff that wasn't the problem while you're pulled over.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what? This fan belt's bad. I got an extra one that size. Let me hook you up. Like, what
I
the
can
fuck?
take the
Sure.
fucking belt. They take the belt off because they've got an elastic belt, and and they wrap it around. They're nice people.
Yeah.
And
That's
to B's point about it,
Richard's been trying to close this up for 25
know.
minutes.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
know,
but
need to
you
go to bed.
started it.
This was
But,
expected time frame. It's cool.
My whole family has always been bigoted. They've always used the N word. They've always
Oh wow.
talked down about dark skinned people. And about 10 years ago, it kind of switched up, and they started to hide it. But then, like, once you get into the family functions and nobody from outside's around, it starts to come back out. So, like, when you call them out publicly for it, they try to pretend like they're not. And I almost just like listening to B talk about B and Richard talk about how their dad was so bigoted. I almost imagine like he tries to probably hide it now, but
He's a little
it
bit
still
dead right
comes out.
now.
Oh, yeah. So that
So he's not
was
hiding much.
But it's just
pretty
it's
dead.
funny because I call out my family and they're like, "What are you talking about? I'm not racist." I'm like, "Dude, you forget that I'm around you when you're being racist."
Right.
Like
Because you've
Yeah,
been
you
around.
are.
for
you
a
can't
long
lie
time.
to me. I've
Yeah.
heard you.
Oh,
Our
I'm
dad
sorry.
was probably
Hold on.
racist to the day he died. Probably.
Oh, I'm sure. Which is funny because he lived in like some ghetto in fucking
Mexico.
what is it called? Right over the border
Rose,
where the
Rose something.
No, right over the border. It's right over the border.
Oh, I don't know what they call them.
It's
Border
that
towns.
first town that you go into in Mexico when you go over the border. Anyways, he was living there in some shithole with some fucking like 18, 19-year-old Spanish chick, and he died of fucking liver and heart failure. And there
Probably
he
beautiful
was.
shade of yellow, like a
And
daffodil.
this is a guy who told me when I was 12 years old. Is the last time I had spoke to him until I was an adult. He told me I need to quit hanging around with the people I was with because I was with these 2 brothers who are like poor white people, because everybody where we lived were poor white people. Even
Yeah,
everybody
white
was
there.
poor. Like even the rich people, they weren't really rich. They had more money than everybody else.
They
but
could afford.
they weren't even really rich. Everybody was poor. So anyways, so I was with these 2 guys and their little brother, and then my 2 black friends, Sid and Adam, were standing there, and my dad pulls up and I'm like, "Hey, Dad," and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like,
Right. Hold on, if
waiting
I
for you to
can
pick-
if I can interrupt, sorry.
What?
Jill, Trigger's Lord is in the chat. Trigger's
"Why
Lord.
do you keep interrupting every story I have?"
What the fuck?
Go ahead.
Get this cunt in here. He's all fucking mouthy. Get him in here.
Anyways, so he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Why are you hanging out with these people?" And I said, "They're my friends." And I went to introduce him. He's like, "No." He said that they're just white N-word, and ignored the fact that I had 2 black friends standing there. He just didn't even acknowledge that they existed. And he said, "You can do better than that." And I said, "These are my friends." And he said, "I don't care." And I said, "Fuck off." And I walked away, and they all went, "Oh, going with them," like they did, but I was like, "Fuck you." I told them off because my mom did not care. And my mom loved everybody and she treated everybody equally. It didn't matter to her. The first time we saw black people when they came into that church, I was like, I remember I said, "Mom," and I tugged on her hand, and she said later, because she knew what I was going to ask. So we all got in the car and I said, "Mom," she's like, "Okay, let me answer the question. They're just from a different area, so their skin's darker. It's just the climate they're from. And we
I
were
remember
like,
that
oh,
conversation. Weird.
in the
I
back of
can't
the
believe I
station
remember
wagon
that.
leaving church. And
Yeah.
and we were like, oh, okay. Conversation over. That's it. Mom said it. That's
I
the
got
way it
lucky. My dad was like not the racist one in the family, and then he moved us to North Carolina. It got us away from most of the racist in the family until we came back when we were older. But then he moved us to North Carolina. So while he wasn't racist, everybody around us was.
Everybody is right. Too much south there. Too close.
You
to
see,
the south.
I'm not racist, but I am guilty of probably what 99% of the human race is guilty of. I'm stereotypical of a race. So if someone said to me, say hillbilly, I see a guy with teeth missing, a trucker's cap with "Make America Great" on it, and the blue overalls and the boots, yeehaw, squeal like a pig, and all that. That's how I see it. It's like,
I want to know how much
would you
detail this gets into. What kind of a belt
Right.
buckle?
Well, you see, over in the UK, this is what I was trying to point out: hillbilly and redneck. Every hillbilly is a redneck, but not every redneck is a hillbilly. A hillbilly is more bucktooth and stupid. That's what we have over here. Where Beck was trying to put across that a hillbilly is nicer than a redneck. So, over in America, from Beck's perspective, every redneck is a hillbilly, but not every hillbilly is a redneck.
See, it's like if someone
Actually,
said to me,
you know what I should
Irish
have called
man,
them?
I would think green corduroy suit and a little green top hat.
That's a
From
I
leprechaun.
should have just
a pot of
called
gold.
them country folk.
That's a leprechaun.
Because that's really how they are. It's not like a bunch of inbred. We're pretty sure one guy down the road was inbred, maybe two of them. But in general, that was not a thing there. Yes. Oh, and Dolores. We're not talking about Dolores.
Richard, your numbers are going up, man.
Whole
You
family's
went from
inbred.
12 to
It's so
14.
fucked up. I can't even tell you. They are so fucked up.
That
Anyway,
just had to say inbred. You got 2 extra viewers for the word inbred. It just shut up.
It's kind of like I don't mind rednecks or hillbillies. I don't like Confederates, and you know you can have you can have hillbillies that are Confederates. You can have rednecks that are Confederates. You can have people that aren't Confederates. You can have liberals that are Confederates. I don't like Confederates. That's like my big one bias.
Yes,
Richard,
and if you're not in the States, a Confederate is somebody that holds to, you know, like our Civil War and they
slavery days, and they wish it was still
the
like
South
that.
will rise again. You know,
fuck them. See, because you and I are Northerners, is what it is, Knock. We know, we know better than that shit.
You know what? I think what we need is an awful lot of Venn diagrams. All right, overlapping circles, some written. You know, we need some Venn diagrams to explain.
Well, Al Murray put it quite eloquently. Al Murray, the British comedian, said, "America is a good idea that's just got out of hand."
I love that one.
I have to object to this, Math Pig. Only a beta would call someone a beta.
Oh,
hey!
Because if you're the alpha, you don't have to say it.
If you're an alpha, you don't need to announce it, and you're there bringing up others. You're picking up others off the floor.
Right. Well, that the only way that's true is that Jill's the alpha, so Jill will come in and put me in the.
Oh, he doesn't pick up anybody. He only tries to put people down so he feels better. That's a beta move.
Yeah. That's right. Jill. That's how we do it in the Christian world.
Yeah, Jill is totally a beta.
In the indoctrinated world, that's what we do. That's right.
All right, last thoughts, and I love you all, and thank you so much for coming by. Really, and everybody in the side chat really appreciate it too. Seriously, and thanks for the show today, Rob.
I love you too, brother.
I literally am sweating like a priest in a Barney suit. It is so warm in here. I've been streaming that long. I need to go for a walk or something.
Yeah.
In here.
Last thoughts.
That was my last thought.
Okay, everybody shill what you. Okay, we'll do shills. Everybody shill your stuff. Go ahead, Naka.
I'll probably stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what. I will speak. It's a great shame for me, Ox, that most Cherokees did fight for the South. The nation itself fought for the South. But I haven't forgotten. And a lot of Cherokees are still Confederates to this day, at least down in North Carolina. I don't know how they are out west, but not much going on my channel. Not much going on my channel right now, but I will be streaming at some point tomorrow. I just don't know what yet.
All right, awesome, Beck.
I just want to say that I feel like that they probably felt like they were forced to fight in order for the South to not be pissed off at them. Anyways, I do every Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday is like LGBTQ trans stuff. I know Jill just cringed in his underwear when I said that. And Wednesday nights are an open mic. Everybody is welcome to anything. Anybody can come in and talk. I don't care. I'm all about connecting people and building up the community. So that's what I do.
All right, Dog. I'm glad to hear you're starting to feel a little bit better and getting back to work and stuff like that, Dog. Are you doing anything with YouTube right now?
No, but I will promise I'm going to try and be around a bit more for you guys. I pay a lot of people to keep making their content, to be honest, and I don't see any of it. So I'm going to try and make an effort, and because it's always fun to be in the chats and listen to you guys.
Yeah.
You always have some great stuff to say, and it's always a laugh as well.
Yep.
So I will be expect me in your chats more often of your streams.
Sweet.
I do want to say real quick, Dog, I know you and I have never talked, but I've watched you in talking with Richard and other people here and there in that little circle you guys run in. But anyway, so
Beck, we have chatted. I've been on your show.
What? When?
Your show. Wow, I've been on your show.
It was a while back. You know I smoke pot,
do that
right?
all the time.
I know. I was just gonna say you're smoking the same stuff Robbie does.
You know, honestly, like Knock probably understand. I've done a lot of interviews and I've talked to a lot of people, and I honestly couldn't even tell you who half of them are anymore. It just becomes a blur after a while. Plus, I smoke pot.
I thought you remember it was one of your open mics or whatever. But I have got the Gospel according to Dog coming up when I can get round to it.
Cool.
The Gospel according to Dog. We're going to look at the Bible and make it more literate, as it was a subject earlier on, wasn't it, Richard?
Yeah.
Illiteracy in the Bible, bad grammar and whatnot, and make it more street and down to earth for the kids. I don't want to change the meaning of it, or I just want to make it more understandable so people can't interpret it as much.
Yeah.
I expect that'll be fun. I have a good gig at the nonsense in there as well.
I expect that many people in this community will appreciate you being able to do that again. Dog.
Yeah, I've got it all set up. It's just finding the time now. I've thrown myself fully back into work, and because I'm working from home, it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot of international phone calls and online, a lot speaking and things like that to people around the world, which I used to travel to, and it's a lot easier to do face to face. But that stress isn't in my life anymore, so hopefully no more strokes for me.
Right.
Because they suck.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I used to move a lot of people that had strokes. I get it. Like, seriously. Yeah. I've never had one, but as close as you can get to understanding, I get it.
All right, Brother MathPig, round it out. Wrap it up for us, will you please?
Anyways, Dog, real quick, I was trying to say you're brilliant, and I always appreciate what you have to say. That's all I was trying to get at anyways.
I love you too.
So I'm done with that. I'm done.
You're brilliant.
I was just trying to finish my sentence. You guys we all just interwove, and I'm ADHD. Go ahead.
Two things. Fuck you back for giving me shit earlier. You just did it as well. So
I love you.
Leave him alone.
No, Doug, seriously, thank you very much for being. I am one of the lucky people that Doug does. He's a member of my channel. He puts money towards it. I really do appreciate it, man. Like
it's in my will, Rob.
What? I get all your house and your money? Brilliant.
No, I've left all my money, but even when I die, you guys are still be.
Oh wow, you're serious, aren't you?
I love these guys. I love this community. I love all you guys.
Wow, dude. Wow.
And I support quite a number of channels. It's only a couple of quid a month. It's the price of a drink. I buy anyone a drink.
That was really touching.
I have ran out of fucking diesel on the motorway close to the payday, 2 or 3 days from payday, with no money in my bank account, no money anywhere except in my PayPal because the Patreons have put in. And I've been able to walk to the fucking mile to the petrol station and buy fucking diesel because of the people that put money in. And if I didn't have that, I'd have been fucking stuck, you know? Yeah. And that's just, I know I do all this, and there's all this sorts of. The computer's 4 years old nearly. The screens are all secondhand. Bar the Christmas present I got. I didn't pay for that either. The keyboards from GeoSam. All of this is from the community. Like, I would be fucking lost without.
Well, it's a great community, and I think anyone in chat who doesn't contribute to any of these stations and channels they enjoy should. It costs peanuts, nothing to you, and it helps them and bringing out the good content.
I mean, think about it, right? Let's put it like plain and simple terms. You give $1. Let's say you give $1 a month, and that person has 50 followers. $50 a month, that helps pay for all this shit and help pay for internet and having to pay for StreamYards or OBS or whatever it is you're doing. You have equipment that dies and you have to replace it, and
the way Patreon works as well is a third of your money, dog, that you donate to me through membership and stuff, that actually goes back into the community. I support other channels, so I only actually take home, maybe half or maybe 2/3, depending on whatever month it is. If we paid super chats and stuff in, I take home maybe about a third or a half of the actual Patreon membership money that comes to me, because it goes straight back out again before I even get it. So the way Patreon is like, there's the money. What comes in gets taken before I get it. So at least
to be honest, Robbie, I don't care what you do with the money. I don't care.
No, I just want to make that statement that, supporting me, the money that you put in to support me, not only supports me, and I know that you appreciate what I do, and I thank you very much for that, but at least a third of what you put in towards me goes back out again.
All right, all this kumbaya crap's got to stop.
Kumbaya.
Right. No, that's it. That's it. Cut it off. Cut it off. Okay. Love you all. I truly do look forward to the day that we're all great friends. Thanks for stopping by. It's been great. Really.
Cheers, Richard.
Everybody.
Cheers.
Have a good night, man.
Good night.